disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
We just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lomito! You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Welcome everybody to another BD Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend Mr. BDA, and alongside with me as always my co-host, the one, the only King Bucho. King, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you for joining us. We've got a lot to cover, especially the Kovalev Yarde fight. That will be the topic of discussion for today, the main topic of discussion. But before we get on to the fun, if you want to keep the gravy train rolling, go on over to the Patreon, the PayPal page, to support us financially so we can continue to put on a great program and develop some new initiatives. Also, don't forget, you can do it via the Super Chat. And if you don't have any shekels or delectables to impart on us, you can always spread the BD gospel, continue watching us, continue liking the stream, subscribing, and just essentially giving us support, moral support, I would say. And of course, don't forget to check out our Discord group. We're having a lot of fun there. Everybody, and I mean everybody's on there, right, Bucho? Almost everybody.
Absolutely.
But listen, if you enjoy the chat room, like I said, if you enjoy the chat room, you can jump on over to the Discord. It's like a chat room without a show. And it's 24/7 and anything goes, all right? And also check out the Twitter page, the BDA Twitter page. That's where Bucho does his thing. It's a very interesting, if you want to keep up to date, if you want to have some funny memes, you got Haimanites that Bucho always retweets, so you can log on there. That's about it, really, right, Bucho, for the plugs?
I think so.
All right. And
We're ready?
yeah, we're going to be taking calls, by the way, people. Just
Yes,
as
sir.
soon as we warm up a little bit in, I would say 5-10 minutes maybe. We're going to send some invites too, so if anybody wants to jump in, who are we inviting, Bucho? We're trying to get some, keep it small, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll keep it small. We'll keep it
And
small.
last time it was out of control.
Yeah, we can't take calls and have everybody on board. It's just not a feasible thing. Everybody wants to get a word in, and it's just not possible, especially when we get callers who have weak phone lines. It just turns into a bit of a mess. But anyway, we'll try to keep it compact for today, see how it goes. Yes.
I can't send
Oh, okay, yeah.
links,
Okay.
So you have to invite Cameron.
Okay, I'll do that in a couple of seconds. But before we get into the invites, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room: Ness Mendoza, Box, the Quags, Unrivaled Boxing Talk, it's McGregor Boxing Talk, Who else? Official Scorecard Boxing. Shout out to Official Scorecard. I still have to get that beat to Official Scorecard Boxing because I gave him a sample. He wanted a beat, a hip hop beat, and I gave him a couple of samples that he could choose from, and he said he liked one of them. All I gotta do is extend it. Now I haven't forgotten, Official. It's just I'm pretty busy here, but I'll get that to you. Don't worry about it. Azzy, Black Lomachenko, H Money, Mr. The Zone, Sin Amosia. Amosia? I don't know how you spell it. Blue Collar Sports, Alan Domireki, Saint Brit, Seamus Carey. BDA says, is Pepe on the panel? Who's Pepe?
Who's Pepe?
Pepe the Frog? I don't know. H Money says, Bucho, get me on the panel. Listen, if you can't hear what we just said, we said we're not sending the invites. Yes, number one. Number two, we can't get you an invite because you're not on Discord. Number three, even if you were on Discord, we're gonna take your phone calls if H Money if you call in, but we're not having you on the panel, man. Come on. As he says, Mr. BDA is giving Official the cold shoulder. No, that's not it. Seamus Carey says he was a caller last week. Who was a caller last week?
Papi, old Papi.
Okay, since you're bringing him up and the people in the chat room are bringing him up too, Bucho, I got to throw you under the bus a little bit here because remember when we talked about it maybe you forgot about it because it was a couple of weeks ago, but I told you if that guy calls again, don't answer. Remember what I told you then?
I forgot. I don't know the area number. Yeah, I should have written down the.
That's fine because it was a long. That's fine because it was a long time ago, so I'm not blaming you completely.
I didn't think he would call again.
I know, but now we know his area codes. If anybody calls from Alabama, we are not answering his phone calls. And I enjoy racial jokes as much as anybody because we're not racist, so we can joke about it because we don't care about race. But he goes over. There is such a thing as a line, even for me, and that guy oversteps it by miles. So, nah, we're not gonna take phone calls from him. Anyway, listen. We are gonna be talking about Kovalev Yarde. Is it Yarde or Yarde?
Yarde. I don't know, man. I think it's Yarde.
These Brits don't know how to name their people. They don't know how to name each other. I'm really surprised that they even know how to wipe their asses. Actually, I'm convinced that they walk around with shady crusts in between their ass cracks, man. Because I don't know what's going on over there in England. You people gotta get your. If there's any Brits, and I know we got some Brits in the audience right now, get your act together. All right. Hopefully, you are good ass wipers. Get the word out there. And get some good dentists while you're at it too. Anyway, Bucho, enough with the jokes. Well, because we're making fun of a whole country here. Yarde versus Kovalev. Bucho, there's a lot of hype on the same Brit says, I'll slap you, BDA. I'm going to get slapped here. Listen, there's a lot of hype on the internet for this fight. There's a lot of interest. Every time I go on the YouTube comments, on message boards, people are talking about this fight. And it's interesting because it's between Kovalev, who's never really been a big star in boxing, I guess the guy who's not a big star in the UK neither, and who hasn't even fought anybody. You know, usually boxing fans love to throw that phrase around. Oh, he hasn't fought anybody. You know, they use that sentence. He hasn't fought anybody. He's fought nothing but bums. In this case, Yarde has really not fought anybody, and yet there's a lot of hype for this fight in the underground boxing community. Bucho, what do you think that is, and are you looking forward to this fight?
I'm looking forward to it. I don't think it's gonna be competitive. Kovalev was a boxing star. I mean, superstar. What's superstar? There's only like two guys that are superstars right now, or maybe three.
Yeah, you're right.
No,
you're right.
I mean, so he was a big star. He was doing great numbers on HBO, which destroys his whole narrative that HBO was, got out of the boxing business because they were promoting East European boxers. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because Kovalev and Golovkin were doing great numbers. But okay, send me a message. I see it.
Yeah,
Anyways, listen, I'm excited about this fight. I think I'm excited about the fight because all this shit talk about what's this guy's name again? Yarde. It's just too funny, man. I was reading the Independent UK and like. Man, this is what they said. Okay, I'm like kind of paraphrasing. He said, "But if the power of the unknown, they're talking about Yarde. But if the power of the unknown and endless promises have made this fight particularly hard to read because of the power. Well, I mean, Yarde's power is an issue here. I was watching some of his fights; they were kind of fucking boring, to be honest. And although he did finish 17 of his 18 opponents, he's not a knockout artist, man, by any means. And a lot of these fighters he fought were bums, man. And then I was watching his fight against this American guy. He's an electrical engineer or something. Travis Reeves. He is an electrical engineer. And in one round, all they did was clinch, man. Like they were both hugging and clinching. Nothing happened. And then you see Yarde trying to sneak in a little uppercut on the inside. But it was just I wasn't impressed with Yarde, man. Now, if Kovalev is old and he didn't train or whatever happened, like outside the ring, that affects his performance inside the ring, then yeah, that's the only way that Yarde can win.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I see Precise in the chat room. Shout out to Precise. Bucho, what's his name on Discord? If I want to send him an invite, because I don't even know. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't think he has the same name on Discord.
I'll send him an invite on Skype.
All right. You have the link, by the way, for the.
No, I can't get the link until we invite somebody.
Okay.
Until we're 3 people in here.
Oh, I see. So who should I invite already?
Well, Cameron wanted to join us, but I don't know if he's still there.
Well, listen, I'll give him a call, see if he answers. All right, so I called Cameron, and this thing kicked me out. So, all right, Butcher, you back there?
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. All right, so yeah, I tried sending a call to Cameron. I don't think I have. I have to send him the link itself. Oh, what the
Okay,
fuck?
I think Precise should be on your friends list.
Yeah, but I don't, first of all, I don't see him, and I don't even know what his name is. So
his name is like some sort of like weird.
Is it Gonzalo? No, it's not Gonzalo.
Precise.
Yeah, I know.
What do you mean,
Okay.
Gonzalo?
No, man, is his name Gonzalo in the Discord?
Oh, it's an I bigger than a U.
Oh, I bigger than you. Okay, I saw he put that in the chat. Anyway, but I don't. I'll try to figure it out. Let me invite Cameron first. Ah, jeez, kick me out again. All right, I'm calling Cameron. Listen, I'll tell you my things about this Yarde thing, this Yarde Kovalev. It's interesting because I was thinking. Oh, Cameron, are you there? Listen, I'll. No, he's got the speakers on. Fantastic. Cameron, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, let me know if you want me to change the settings or if you'll get an echo.
No, it's fine.
You're good. You're good. Cameron, we're just good to have you on board. We're just talking about the Yarde Kovalev. That's what we're going to be talking about today, and we're also going to be taking calls, by the way, and getting predictions. So get your predictions ready already, people, so we can get down with a list. Cameron, you're from the UK. I'm curious, what's the general atmosphere in regards to this fight right now?
Not many people giving Yarde a chance. Certainly from the people that I've seen. I don't give Yarde much of a chance. I actually think Kovalev wins quite handily, but simply because the fact that, Yarde is going into this fight, he's fought absolutely no one of note. He's got 1 or 2, decent wins against sort of journeymen. But other than that, he's not been tested. He's not had a chin check. If you look at all the opponents he's faced, all the guys he's fought have had limited power, not had many knockouts. So in quite a lot of ways, he's been protected through his development, and now he's getting thrown in against, the light heavyweight. He's got the best resume in the world in that division. And Yarde's not been shown. He's not shown to how he gets pressured on the back foot against any sort of top level. How he takes a shot himself. Technically, we've not seen how good he is. So, judging on what we've seen, I don't see how you can give Yarde a chance other than the fact that you're going off the basis of Kovalev's aging. But if you look at his last fight against Alvarez, he looked better. So, based on what we've seen, I don't give Yarde a shot at all. And from what I've seen, other people aren't either.
But I don't understand, why is Yarde taking this fight? Is he delusional? Does he really believe he can win this fight after having no preparation at all in terms of step up opponent, step up in opposition? Or is it a cash out fight? What's going on?
I think it's, if you look at the way they've gone about it, Yarde has not taken any fights that are potentially risk worthy. Like, he got offered a fight against Jose Burton, Joshua Boatsi. These are British level guys who a lot of people would have picked to probably beat Yarde. And now all of a sudden he's getting in with Kovalev. So in my opinion, it's a fight where they've thrown him in the deep end. If he wins, he wins. If he loses, it's a fight where they can say, well, he wasn't prepared enough. You know, he only had like 20 amateur fights and he can go again. So I think it's a bit of a cash out because there's not really going to be a surprise element if he loses, is there? So I think it's kind of a, let's see how you get on. But if you lose, you lose. It's no sort of loss on your career, is it, in terms of what you do next because you can bounce back from it.
Well, let's talk
He's making
about
4 million euros, I believe.
Jeez. Hey, by the way, is this
Yeah,
fight
he's fought absolutely nobody. He's fought nobody to get that sort of money yet. So it is a bit of a cash out.
is this fight pay-per-view over there in the UK or?
No, I don't think so. No, so I know it's on BT Sport, but I'm not too sure if it's on a pay-per-view platform. But I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't. I would. I mean, wasn't one of his fights on pay-per-view, or am I getting that wrong?
Maybe on an undercard, yeah, but he's not headlined.
Oh,
He's not
okay,
even
okay,
headlined his
okay.
own event yet. I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, because him on pay-per-view, that would be ridiculous. Essentially, he's a prospect taking. He's a prospect at this point. He's a prospect. He's fought nothing but prospect type preparatory opposition. I don't even know if that's a word, preparatory. By the way, Bucho, can you send a link? I mean, I don't even know. I don't know how this shit works. I don't find him on my list of contacts. And
Yeah, I just saw that you added him as a friend because I have. Oh no, it was me. Shit.
Actually, when Kovalev fought Cleverly, who was a much more recognised name in the UK,
Oh, there we go.
Right.
that fight wasn't pay-per-view, so I can't see this one being pay-per-view.
Yeah, I would be very, very surprised if this was if this side was pay-per-view. And you know what? Let's talk about that because okay, first of all, let's talk about whether Yarde even has a shot at winning because I was thinking about this and I was thinking, okay, when's the last time a fighter who had very little experience, who hadn't beaten anybody of note, stepped up against an established champ and beat him? And two names came to mind. Number one was Mayweather when he beat Genaro Hernandez. The other one that's not exactly the same was Bernard Hopkins when he beat Trinidad. He hadn't beaten anybody of note, and then all of a sudden he beat Trinidad. Now there's some differences here. Hopkins was already a pro for a long time. He was 36 when he fought Trinidad, so it's not exactly the same thing. Mayweather had a long amateur career, and subsequently we've come to learn that he's one of the special fighters in boxing, so he was able to pull that off. Yarde does not have a long amateur background. I think he only has about 40 fights, Cameron, if I'm correct.
I think he's had less than that. I think he had a half of that. I might be wrong, but I think he's only had about 20-something fights as an amateur.
Yeah, so there you go. So he doesn't even have that great an amateur career. He hasn't fought the greatest of opposition. Supposedly he doesn't spar all that much. Now I don't know if that's just something they say, propaganda to throw off their opponents and make them think that wow, this guy's so good, he doesn't even need to spar. I call a little bit of BS on that. But does he have? Well, let's take a look at that. Oh, by the way, Precise, are you there?
He was.
What do you mean he was?
Oh, he's still there. I don't know.
I can't hear him. Precise, I can't hear you. Let me see if he's muted. No, he's unmuted.
Anyways, go on.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Precise, we're just talking about Yarde, Kovalev, and let's just run through the. And by the way, good to have you back on board here on the show. Let's go through the list of positive aspects that Yarde has. Let's start with Cameron. Cameron, what's one good thing that you see from Anthony Yarde that you think could help him beat Kovalev?
He has power. That's about it. Technically, he's not as good as Kovalev. He's got power. I mean, against limited opposition.
Does he though?
He's not. No, I mean at world level, I don't even know if he's got power at European level.
Right.
So in terms of, it's obviously he can crack. I mean, you just need to look at the guy. The problem is, like I said, he's not gone the full 12 rounds of anyone of note, and he's got a lot of muscle, a lot of heavyweight. So in my opinion, I don't see him lasting 6 rounds with Kovalev. But in terms of like what he's good at, he can punch hard, but against very limited opposition. So that's about it.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Precise. What do you think, Yarde? What are some of the things that you think could help him against Kovalev?
Well, he's got big muscles.
that's actually going to be a detriment
Seriously,
to him, I
though.
think.
No, well, I mean, if you look at the fact that he's fought the who's who of Polish shopkeepers, Latvian, and British bums, I mean, I give him a shot. Good qualities. It's really hard to say because, could be a diamond in the rough. Really, he could be really good. He could have an awesome chin, and he's gonna need one. How about you? But I don't see anything so far. I haven't seen anything special.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that because
great at European level doesn't that great.
that's a thing though, because even against some of these guys that he's fought, and let's face it, I don't like to throw the word bum around, but some of the guys he's fought are really derisory opposition. It's nothing. It is not. You know what? Watch the fights, guys. Don't take my word for it. Watch the fights. You tell me if you see and watch the fights and let's look at his record. All right, I'm gonna put it up on the screen here.
Yeah.
So people don't
4
think that
fights ago, he fought Tony Averland, 26-9-2.
Yeah, some French dude. Then he fought Darius Zek. I don't know if that's how I'm saying it correctly. Precise. Maybe you can correct me on this Eastern European names. 27-3. Then he fought Walter Gabriel Sequeira. I think he's Argentinian. 21-4, and he was really a midget in there. And
Darius Zek is his best win. Darius Zek is his best win, and
Darius Zek.
he's not really done anything really in his career either.
He took him some rounds, I think 8 or something.
Yeah, I think he took him 8 rounds or something. Then he fought Travis Reeves in his last fight, 17-3.
Yeah.
I think Travis Reeves has been stopped since then too, as well. Again, and
he was
he's the
drunk
electric.
in that fight.
Was that?
He was drunk in that fight.
Are you kidding me?
He looked drunk to me.
Oh, okay.
The way he was moving, he looked drunk to me.
Yeah,
he's 38.
From the first round on, he was pretty jittery. Darius Zek, I don't know if that's how you say his name again, but he was another guy that looked drunk in there. He was reacting to every feint from Anthony Yarde. Guys, it's always a bad sign when guys go up against Yarde, and even during the fucking stare down, they're looking down at his pecs, and you can see the look of fear on their face, like, oh my god, what did I just get into? It's never a good sign when your opposition is already scared of you, just based on the way you look. He's never fought any type of opposition in that ring. He's never faced any adversity, and yet he's jumping in there against a guy who not only has skills, but who has power in there. Mm-hmm. Is there a chance that he gets ruined in this fight?
Yes.
Every one of those guys he's fought, and they're not only were they undersized, like Cameron said, they didn't have any punching power, and they were just not that good, period. But every single one of those guys hit him with the right hand flush. If Kovalev hits him with the right hand flush, which you have to assume he will, if those guys, we're gonna find out about his chin, and if he has a great chin, I think we have a good fight. But other than that, this fight doesn't go 7.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I don't see it going past 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions coming into this fight, man. I mean, there's the question of, can he take a punch, or can he take Kovalev's punch, to be more precise? Does he have the stamina to go beyond 6 rounds? Does he have the skills to compete with Kovalev? Can he adapt in there? I mean, there's just a lot of unanswered questions, and I think that's one of the reasons why this fight has somehow captured the imagination and the attention of boxing fans, because there's a lot of what ifs, but it could also turn out to be a real mismatch. And people are still talking about Dadashev and the death, the recent 2 deaths that we had in boxing this past 2 months. This is the type of fight. Remember, Kovalev already murdered somebody in that ring. He tried to do it against Pascal in the rematch. And if Yarde, you know what, it might be better for Yarde, if he's gonna lose this fight, to not have a chin, because if he does have a chin, he could be in for a long beating.
The thing is, as well, like, Kovalev can knock out any light heavyweight, like, if he hits him right. And even if we talk about, if you put him in there against any established light heavyweight, Grodstick, Viterbo, Bivol, you're not going to put it past him to potentially knock him out if he lands right. So, and they're the established guys who have shown to have a chin and been hit flush by other top guys. this is an unknown guy coming in here who's not even fought a highly ranked British fighter. So you've got to go on what you see, and we've not seen anything to kind of show that he's got a decent chin anywhere near world level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to judge this fight when you've seen nothing from another guy going in there against someone like Kovalev.
Exactly. Very well said. But again, that's why I think a lot of people are excited for this. Well, not excited, but they're looking forward to this fight because there's a lot of unanswered questions. Now, Precise, you mentioned that he's been hit, Yarde, easy to hit with the right hand. Everybody he's fought goes, and I'm talking about Yarde. Everybody that he's fought is terrified of the guy. They don't let their hands go. They let him do whatever he wants. That's why he looks halfway decent in there. But whenever these guys did let their hands go, it was pretty easy for them to find Yarde. Even the Frenchman dude, what's his name? Hold on a second. Averland, Tony Averland. He hit him with two 1-2s. 1-2, boom, boom. And then Yarde looked up at him and smiled. And then he threw the 1-2 again and hit him again flush. And Travis Reeves was tagging him too. And you know what? Precise mentioned the right hand. I think it's the jab.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be eating jabs all night long because I haven't seen... He tries to do that...
He has a shoulder roll.
Yeah, he tries... But he tries to do the shoulder roll, but that's precisely the thing that leaves him open for that jab. And he's not even all that great with the shoulder roll. He gets caught with right hands. He's like Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah, I see what he tries to do, and it is like Teofimo a little bit. He tries to roll the right hand and come back with his own right hand. But, and it works sometimes. But if it only works sometimes against these guys that aren't that good, that don't feint, they don't really change the rhythm of their punches. They don't set their punches up very well, and they're still able to hit them. He's going to have to step up big time to Sergey. But again, if he has a great chin, this is a good fight.
Yeah, but then again, though, that's the question. If, let's say, he does have a chin, does he have the skills? Because, let's face it, first of all, people forget that Kovalev has power because in his last 3 fights, he hasn't really knocked anybody out cold or stopped guys the way he was in between 2012 and 2016, which those were prime Kovalev years. But he still has power. He still has that power. Guys like Alvarez, they had good guards, and that's why they could take his shots. But he also has skills. And you mentioned the feints. He has a lot of feints. He pops that jab, which hurts. It's like a power punch. And then once he has you distracted with that jab, he starts feinting. And that just creates a whole lot of trouble. It's not just the power that made him a great fighter, it's the feints. And so we're going to have to see how Yarde can react to those. And if he's standing there waiting just for that one right hand, he's going to be eating jabs all night long. So that's another aspect that I'm curious to see, whether Yarde can even neutralize Kovalev's jabs.
I feel like Kovalev's going to feint him, and Yarde's going to try to roll and come back with something, and that's how he's going to get caught when he's trying to come back with... You remember how he caught Andre Ward a little bit with that right hand and put him down? I think he might get caught like that because, like you say, Sergey has a lot of feints, and I think what's underrated about him is he's got foot feints, he's got hand feints, he's got head feints. He's got he does that little shimmy thing with his shoulders. His feints, it doesn't look like a lot because they're not very obvious, I guess, but he has a lot of different ways of feinting. I don't think Yarde has ever seen anything like that. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm hoping it's a good fight. And I think it may be because, just as many questions as we have about Yarde, there's a lot of questions around Sergey too. So, it could turn out to be a good fight, and I'm hoping it is, but I wouldn't put my money.
All right. So we've also...
I'll say, right, if Yarde wins, just put that fight down as the upset of the year for me on, no matter what happens the rest of this year in boxing. That's all. Hey,
listen, if he wins this fight, all credit to him because he is jumping up in class against one of the best light heavyweights in the past 5 years who has power, has skills. If he wins this one, man, he's gonna be... He deserves a lot of credit. I don't know if it's hubris. I don't know if it's confidence. I don't know if he's just delusional. We will see. By the way, we got Recognize on the line. Recognize, are you there?
What's going on?
Hey, good to have you on board, man. We're
Yo.
just talking Kovalev Yarde here.
Mismatch.
Already, man?
But surprisingly, the bookies have Kovalev only like a 2-1 last check.
Hmm.
He's
How much
not
should
a
it
big
be?
favorite at all.
How much should it be?
I would say he should be like 5-1, maybe 6-1, something like that. But I think it's the British. I don't know what he opened at. I think it's the British public betting on Yarde that have shifted the odds.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumbasses in the UK when it comes to boxing fans.
Well, a lot of the articles I'm reading from the British news, they give they make this fight as if it's a 50-50 fight. So I can understand why some people are betting on Yarde in the UK.
I wanted to point that out too, like the bias from the British media, and I understand there's gonna be support for the homeboy, but like the bias is just so crazy. All of a sudden, Yarde can't go to Russia and hope to win a decision. I'm sorry, name one fighter that got robbed in Russia. Lebiedev, against Gassiev. Like, who got robbed in Russia, first and foremost? And secondly, let's not act like fighters don't get robbed in the UK, It's like, just this bias.
UK is one of the worst countries, man. UK is one of the worst countries. The amount of foreign fighters that get robbed in the UK.
Yeah, because there's a lot of money there, you know what I mean? So, like, it just comes with the territory. I get it, but it's like, just throwing it out there like he can't win a decision. I disagree. I think as far as the judges are concerned, can get a decision. Can he earn a decision? I don't know. So
he has to beat the shit out of Kovalev if he's going to get a decision, like multiple knockdowns.
Yeah, definitely. But that just like wanted to touch on the bias, how that possibly the odds skewed. You know what I mean? Because the odds don't seem to be reflecting how, I don't want to say experts or anything, but like more hardcore boxing fans feel about this fight. The odds definitely reflect that. So that's
Well, based on how Andy Ruiz is talking about Saudi Arabia, it seems like Saudi Arabia is the most biased country when it comes to boxing. But anyway, the point is that the phone lines are open. By the way, people, phone lines are open. So if you want to give us a call and give us your prediction for Kovalev Yarde, go on ahead. The number's right up there on the top of your screen. So feel free to call in. Also, I wanted to talk about Yarde. The fight, the Yarde Kovalev fight, it's taking place in Russia. Now, the last time Kovalev fought in Russia was against Isaac Chilemba. Now, a lot of people feel, if you fight in the other guy's hometown, it's dangerous because you're on his territory, his crowd, blah, blah, blah. But there's also a flip side to that coin, which is being the home fighter has a lot of responsibilities. You got to go around taking care of people and their tickets. Hey, can I get a ticket? Can I get a ticket? He's got all his friends around that they're probably trying to buy him rounds of vodka at the bar every night. He also has to do, promotional obligations that he has, go to radio stations, TV interviews, blah, blah, blah. So
he can't lose.
What's that?
Yeah, he cannot lose.
And he can't lose. Yeah, there's another dimension. The last time he fought at home was against Isaac Chilemba, and he didn't look all that great. So, guys, is there a risk at fighting at home for Kovalev, especially since we know Kovalev can be a little bit of a maniac outside of the ring?
No, I mean, before that fight, there was a lot of talk about it having issues with his trainer. When John David Jackson apparently wasn't listening to him training, and they were falling out, and loads of other stuff going into that fight. So, I think there was a lot of factors going into that one, weren't there? There was kind of stuff going around the media about that. So. Wasn't there a thing where John David Jackson was actually rumoured to not be in the whole training camp with Kovalev for that Chilemba fight?
Well, I do remember, what's his name, Randall Bailey, when he came on the show one time and we asked him about John David Jackson. He said John David Jackson is not he's not a good trainer. He says he didn't even hold the mitts for him. So, you got some guys saying that John David Jackson is a good trainer, then other people say he's not. I mean, go figure. I don't know what happened between him and Kovalev, why the fallout was so as bad as it was. But, speaking of John David Jackson, he says his prediction is that, actually, what was his prediction? Hold on a second. I have the video here, but he said one thing. He says if Yarde is going to win, he has to go to Kovalev's body, put pressure on him because he's drunk and he doesn't have good stamina. Now, I'm thinking, first of all right, Kovalev's stamina might not be as good as the young man's stamina, although we don't know how good the young man's stamina is because he's got a lot of muscle and he's never been past 6 rounds or He's never been 12 rounds, actually, I should say. Also, yeah, it's pretty easy to say, yeah, just walk him down and go to the body. First of all, we've never seen him do that against a top opponent, and he has to make it past Kovalev's jab and bomb of a right hand first. So, guys, is John David Jackson being a little bit delusional himself here?
Yeah, he's bitter as well. I mean, I don't see how Yard can just walk. How many people has walked down Kovalev and taken him out the ring? No one. So
I think he's being a little too biased. I mean, you could say, look, I think he's weak to the body, but when you get personal, he's a drunk, and you know, just go to the body. He's being too. I have a problem when somebody says that. Like, if I'm getting advice from him, fight a guy, and he's like, well, he's a drunk. If he just said to me, look, he's a little weak to the body, and focus on that, then I could take it more serious. But you know, adding the drunk part, I don't know how serious I would take somebody.
Even with all the hate that John David Jackson has towards Kovalev, he's still leaning towards Kovalev. So that just tells you how much of a favorite Kovalev is.
Yeah, and the whole, you know, him drinking vodka thing. This is American media playing well-known stereotypes, right? Russian people drink vodka. Guys, honestly, how many fighters out there do you drink alcohol? Most of them. A lot of them go out and party, get fucked up. It just comes with the territory. It's always been us. It will always be this. I think they singled him out just to fuck with him. Andre Ward did that just to fuck with him mentally and make him a bad guy in the press and so on and so forth. Which, you know, I'm not saying that he's any kind of an angel, because he seems like a real to work, that guy. And he probably does drink a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm not trying to like make any excuses for him. However, I just find it a little weird that people have singled him out when I think we could all agree all these fighters like to party, man.
Yeah, it's just because loads of stuff's come out in the media about Kovalev and things like that. So you get singled out for it.
Well, I don't think he's big. I don't think he's being singled out because again, there's a lot of criticism towards. There was a lot of criticism towards Mayweather too. Even what was his name? Thomas Hauser, Thomas Hauser happens to be boxing's resident SJW. He was complaining about the McGregor-Mayweather press conference and how they were both misogynist and making references to their genitalia, which according to him was a big misogynistic blow to the feminists. So, I mean, I do think a lot of people get flack. I mean, even Adonis Stevenson, when they used to write articles about him, they would always bring up his criminal past. So, you know, the guys out there do get attacked by the media. And it's just, you know, the media, sometimes they don't have much to write about, so they just like to make reference to anything that's controversial.
Gee, I'm surprised there's a criminal element in boxing.
Well, hold on. Pete makes a good comment in the chat. He says, Kovalev should live a clean life, like Adrian Broner, Charlo, Tank Davis.
Exactly, he's right.
I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard was fucking known for partying with this stuff.
Yeah, he's a cokehead.
Snorting coke. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I mean, he was a great cokehead. I mean, like, he's not your average, you know, run-of-the-mill cokehead that's chasing the dragon. He was a great fighter. Maybe he took him when he was.
Kovalev
maybe he took it when he was fighting.
So I recognise Kovalev may have been drunk, you know, for several years, but he's still beating shit out of top guys and won become unified champion. I mean,
his last performance was excellent, and he didn't show any like stamina issues in that fight. I didn't think so. You know, he paced himself well. He looked great. You know, had a great game plan. The defense was on point. So if we are to judge him by his last fight, he's gonna.
He fought this very relaxed style of boxing, man.
Yeah,
it's like it was kind of really weird watching him fight like that, but he fucking tagged him up the whole fight. He's just super relaxed. Nothing.
And Alvarez is a top five light heavyweight, man. You know, in terms of top 5, top 10, definitely. So Yard's nowhere near that level based on what he's done.
You know, one thing I liked about Kovalev in that rematch is he kept his hands up a little bit more. He likes to keep his hands at his almost by his waist sometimes, both hands. When he's out of range, that's fine. But when he fought, what's his name, Alvarez the first time, even when he was in punching range with Alvarez, he was keeping his hands down. In the rematch, he kept them up. When Alvarez was getting close, he would keep them up a little bit more, and that was a visible change that you could see in that fight. So he was definitely way too sloppy in the first fight. He let's just call it the way it was. He got sloppy. Now, was that because he wasn't taking boxing seriously? Was he having issues with finding the right trainer? What do you think happened to him after the second award fight?
Nobody wants to touch that.
Nobody wants to touch
What,
that
the
one.
second ward fight?
Yeah, because why was he so sloppy in that first Alvarez fight?
Oh, the first. Okay, I don't know.
Vodka.
I mean, yeah, I thought he was winning until he got knocked out.
That's a good point. He was winning. He was getting tagged though. He was getting tagged more. Maybe did he
He was getting hit with the
underestimate
bigger
Alvarez?
shots, right?
He
But
didn't
did he-
respect him. He showed him no respect. He fought stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because even though Alvarez was getting outboxed, Alvarez was showing moments of hitting him back with big shots, with pretty big shots. And then I guess, what was it, the 7th or the 8th round where he stopped Kovalev? I just
Right.
thought he got caught with some big shots, and it was a mixture of Alvarez continue to fight, continue to assault him, and Kovalev just breaking down. I don't think he quit or anything like that. He just got the lights beat out of him at that point.
Didn't he hurt him early in the fight? Kovalev, Alvarez, didn't he buzz him pretty bad?
Who, Kovalev or Alvarez?
Yeah, Kovalev.
Yeah, Kovalev did.
Yeah,
him early in the round.
yeah, when he fought these guys that weren't very well known, he would hurt them and then he'd finish. So maybe he thought it was just gonna be another one of them guys. So he buzzed them, and then he just like BDA just got kind of sloppy, went after him, but wasn't able to finish him. Got finished instead. Blew his wad and got hit. Adjusted in the rematch, and that's all she wrote. So,
all right, guys.
If that's the Kovalev we get, I don't. It's gonna be a short night.
What's with the mic sounds? Oh my goodness! All right.
Yeah,
that was we had a phone call, but dropped out apparently. Yeah, just going back on that Kovalev getting sloppy thing. Precise, you mentioned that you don't think stamina-wise there was a problem in the Alvarez fight. Here's my question though, and it's just I'm not saying he has bad stamina, but against Alvarez is 35, Kovalev is 36, so it's not like Alvarez was in a position to push the pace against Kovalev in the second fight. Yarde is 26, I believe, 26, 27. And even though we don't know much about his stamina, and even though he's very muscle-bound... Huh?
The phone call's back. It's Thunderdome.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't he just get on the Discord?
The fuck is that sound?
Yeah, Thunderdome, are you there?
Can you hear me? It's cutting up a little bit. I was wondering if maybe I should do it through Discord.
Yeah, you can do it through Discord too. It's easier.
Yeah.
Is that easier? Because it seems to be cutting up a bit on me.
Yeah, that might... Well, can you hear me properly, or...?
I hear him fine.
Yeah,
actually, I'm hearing you guys good now, though.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. You still on the topic of what went wrong after the ward fights, or in the ward fights and afterwards?
Yeah.
Leading into the Alvarez fight, because I think we could all agree that he definitely wasn't mentally there. I heard you talking about he was keeping his hands down, and again, that would lead towards him not being as focused, not paying attention to his defense, not being on point. Unfortunately, he took them losses extremely hard, which I think we can all agree on that too. Plus, his team, gets broken up. There's a lot going on there. He's not a young kid. He's not even he's an old dude. He's my age, man. He's like a year younger than me. That's not that young, especially in this game. So, it's basically the tail end of his career. He got and is he still messing with Buddy McGirt for this fight?
Ooh, good question. Any of you guys know if he's still with Buddy McGirt for this one?
I haven't heard anything about them breaking up.
Yeah, I've heard nothing, man. It's like he's locked away somewhere.
That's a good point. I didn't even see a press conference for this fight.
No, nothing. I saw some Yarde interviews today. I've been watching those. But there isn't any. I've even seen some recent training footage from Yard. BT Boxing put out, or BT Sports, whatever that shit is, put out like a little fight breakdown video. That was pretty cool. But yeah,
There
I
should be a
haven't
press
seen shit about
conference.
Kovalev.
Should be
No
one.
training videos, no interviews. I can't find any, at least.
I saw a video. I don't know if it's just some old video that somebody rebranded, but I did see a video of him hitting the pads with Buddy McGirt in preparation for this fight. Supposedly, you can never trust, but the title suggested as so. That's all.
I'm gonna say that he's still with him. I haven't heard anything to suggest that they're not together. So
I think you'd know, man. If he changed
Yeah.
trainers again, you'd know because
They
he's not
would've-
going to turn up, is he, and have a different trainer, not without the media knowing about it. It will get leaked.
And I think that Kovalev at this point found the right trainer. This is the perfect guy. He's like talkative, but if you tell him shut your mouth, I could do certain things on my own. He looks like the type of person that would go with that. All right, listen, it's more about you than so. I think there's no reason. There would be no fucking reason unless Kovalev is just losing his mind at this point to get rid of Buddy McGirt.
Yeah. I mean, he looked very good against Alvarez. That's in the rematch. That's for sure.
Buddy McGirt is a fighter's kind of a fighter's kind of trainer. Like it's about you, not him. That's the kind of guy he seems to be. So
Right.
I don't see why he would let him go at this point.
You have to remember, he was like the Freddie Roach in between 2003, 2006, or 2007. He was like the Freddie Roach of boxing trainers. Once he got that success, he was a hired gun. Once he got success with Arturo Gatti and Antonio Tarver, after the Tarver fight, that's really when everybody started saying, "Oh, look at this guy! He can," guys like Fernando Vargas and other people that would use him because they thought that he could rebuild their career. Then he hit a bit of a slump. People were making fun of him for stopping fights too early, and now he's making a bit of a comeback finally, almost after 10 years almost. So we'll see what he can do with Kovalev. Also, I wanted to ask you guys that the question is, because again, the one of the
with Kovalev.
Was
it's
that?
all about at this point. I don't think there's really nothing to do with Kovalev, like in terms of like what to do with him, except like just be there and remind him of what he does good.
Yes.
That's all you got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah, just get him on point, keep him focused. And the other thing I want to ask you guys is about, people are talking about, Yarde has a chance because Kovalev is finished. That's what a lot of guys are saying. But again, you alluded to the Alvarez rematch and how he looked good. He was consistent throughout the fight, pumping that jab. I think he could have taken Alvarez out, or he could have taken any other fighter out that night. But Alvarez is just a tough dude who knows how to keep his hands up and survive. What do you guys think? Do you think they're making too much out of Kovalev being washed up and being 36 years old and all that stuff?
Hey, can I talk about this?
Yes, please.
I hear a lot of people talking really highly about that second Alvarez performance. And I'll be honest, man, when I was watching that fight live, I saw a lot of bad signs in Kovalev of like nervousness at times, to where I was scared. Like if Alvarez had the ability to maybe press, he may have broken him mentally again, man. I saw something in there, and I didn't like it at all. I don't know if anyone else picked up on it, if they don't want to even say it, maybe. I don't know. I saw some shit
I
in
didn't
there
like the passiveness.
I did not like. I can understand it. It's your first fight back after getting knocked out. That's against the same guy. That's ballsy. It's definitely ballsy. So I could imagine some hesitancy in a fighter, for sure. But
I thought
I just hope I don't see it again.
There's one thing that I thought that I didn't like, but then again, I don't know what he's going through, knocked out and shit. So that was the passiveness when I thought there was many opportunities. Okay, not like every freaking round, but there was a couple of rounds where I thought, why isn't Kovalev picking up the pace? Because he's actually in position to hit and not get hit, or even points where Alvarez was out of position not to punch back. So I don't know if that was just him taking it, being cautious, getting that type of advice in the corner. I'm not sure, but I found that to be a little weird on Kovalev's part. Obviously, he won clearly. He won like at least 10 rounds in that fight.
Well, I mean, if he was nervous, it's definitely understandable. Because, like Thunderdome said, he jumped in right away against the guy that knocked him out. So, obviously, he might have been a little bit tentative about not overcommitting. Because even Buddy McGirt in between rounds was telling him, just keep touching him, touching him, touching him. He's trying to come at you with the right hand. So, he was just essentially telling him, play it safe, don't go for anything big.
You see that? You see that? What you just said? I kind of like remember that. Him saying that in between the rounds. And I thought to myself, that Kovalev is just maybe just taking his advice because there was, I can't tell you which rounds exactly because I got to go back, but I remember clearly Alvarez out of position to throw any punches back, and Kovalev still played it, kind of safe. Played it kind of safe instead of picking up the pace.
Well, I'll tell you what. I saw the fight recently, rewatched the fight recently, and I did think he did try to pick up the pace in the 11th round. I think it was the 10th or 11th round. He tried to pick up the pace, but like I said, Alvarez has a good guard, and I think Kovalev knew that Alvarez was playing possum a little bit to try to catch him with something big. This is the thing about Alvarez. Remember, this is the only guy to have stopped. I mean, this is only one of the second guy to have stopped Lucien Bute. Froch did it, but Froch's a maniac who, just went in there and let his hands go. Alvarez did it clean. What the fuck was that?
The fuck?
Yeah, I heard something in the background. I heard somebody go, "Oh!"
Something dropped on my foot. I said,
"Oh, okay." You dropped an anvil on your feet, on your foot. But listen, but that's the thing then. So I did think Kovalev did try to press the pace. I think he was being a little bit careful. Now here's the thing about Anthony Yarde, though. Like Cameron mentioned before, he's got power, but that power has only been demonstrated against, I don't want to say bums, but tier 4 opposition. We don't know if he can fucking go on for more than 6 rounds at a pace.
We don't know if he can take a punch. Can he take a punch?
Exactly.
I don't really know much about him. I've seen some highlights where guys are not even punching back.
And look, fighting in Russia. It's not like he's just fighting on the road. He's fighting in Russia. You know what I mean? So he's going to get poisoned, that's for sure. No, but think about it. There's this stigma about Russia, right? It's like big, bad, mean Russians, right? Like a lot of fighters are deathly afraid, like Deontay Wilder, to go to Russia.
Oh.
I mean, he's going there, so like kudos to him, but he's gonna be out of his element. To me, I don't know much about the guy, but to me, he seems like just a kid from the ghetto who's never been outside of his fucking neighborhood, and now he's gonna be in Russia on the road. Like, if his stamina's good, and we don't know, him being tense, which he will be, I imagine anyway. That's going to contribute to him potentially tiring. I mean, this is a big ask of this dude. He's never fought anybody, and now he's going to Russia. Let me repeat that. And he's gonna fight, arguably the best guy in the division, and a killer, literally a killer.
Going to Putin's backyard, like he's in Putin's backyard.
That's right.
And he might get. Putin is even as busy as he is. Boxing is the number one priority. So he has to make sure that Russian boxing. So, tall task for Yarde.
That's why I'm curious as to why Yarde is taking this fight. Is he
cashing him out? I think they're cashing money. I think somebody's look. Can he come back from a loss? Of course he could. Maybe he gives a good fight and still loses the fight. That's a win-win situation for him if he can do that. Now, if he gets blown out, and maybe that would be better for him if he does get blown out. Come back from that, he's not really damaged. Maybe just mentally at that point. But I think that there's not a whole lot of protection for Yarde. They want to find out what they have at the very best situation. They want to find out what he's made of. They might think that they have a good fighter. They just find out.
All right. Now hold on a second. Before we continue, we got all right. So Thunderdome, we got Thunderdome on the Discord now, so he doesn't have to be waiting on the phone there. And we have another phone call. Let's just go to that one real quick, and then we'll continue here with the panel. 585, you're on the air. 585. What do you want to talk about?
I just want to say, Anthony Yarde,
Vinny?
instruction.
Well, hold on a second. First of all, we got to introduce you. It's Vinny Mac on the air.
Yes.
Or caller. Vinny, thank you for calling in.
Yes, this is Vinny Mac.
All right, thank you for calling in, man. What did you say?
No problem.
Anthony Yarde.
Hello, Vinny Mac.
No problem.
No problem. No pal.
How you doing, Recognize?
I'm doing swell now that
Yes,
you called in.
no, I just wanted to repeat myself. I just wanted to say Anthony Yarde by destruction.
All right, now hold on. Vinny, I got to tell you, your track record has not been the greatest here. I'm just pointing it out before I say anything. You picked Thurman to beat Pacquiao. You picked Teofimo Lopez to destroy the Japanese guy prior to the fight. I think you picked Marcus Brown to beat Jean Pascal too. Now you're picking Anthony Yarde by destruction. He is the underdog, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell us why you think Yarde beats him.
Yes, I did pick Thurman to beat Pacquiao, but I did not expect Pacquiao to knock him down in the first round. If he didn't, then Thurman probably would have won the fight. But I think Yarde will win, and I just think he's very skilled and a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
And Kovalev, even though he has.
All right, sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Could you just repeat the last part, please?
Yes, I was saying Kovalev could be finished goods, but he will be finished goods once Yarde gets a hand of him, gets a hold of him. Excuse me.
Take care, buddy.
Once he gets a hold of him, he will be finished goods. He will retire Sergey Kovalev.
Okay, but now let me ask you this, because you said Yarde is skilled. You said Yarde is skilled. You can admit, though, that it's kind of hard to tell how skilled he is based on the opposition he's fought so far.
I understand about the opposition. I understand. But Kovalev will soon understand that Yarde is the next great one, as we like to say. Great one. He's that great. He is a mixture of, let's see, he has a little bit of Mayweather with his Philly shell defense, and he's built like Anthony Joshua. You know, he's a complete package, and I have huge expectations for this guy. Huge.
Well, let me tell you something. Hopefully, he doesn't have Anthony Joshua's chin, because Kovalev can crack. Now, here's the other thing, Vinny Mac. Anthony Yarde has fought very subpar opposition, and even they have managed, when they weren't terrified, when they found their balls long enough to throw a 1-2, they were able to catch Anthony Yarde, and Kovalev is a much better fighter than those guys, and he hits a lot harder. Do you think Anthony Yarde has a good chin?
I do believe he has a chin, and I do believe he has dog in him as well. I think that Kovalev will land the right, but I think he won't affect Yarde, because I think Yarde will roll with the punch. You get what I'm saying here?
Yeah, but he's tried to do that against the sub-tier opposition that he's fought so far, and even they have managed to catch him. And Kovalev is much more skilled than those guys. So I'm asking you, how is he going to be able? How is he going to be able to stay away from that right hand for 12 rounds? So
he's going to come in, right? He's going to come in Winky right style, and he's going to get inside, and he's going to punish Kovalev. This is how I think he should fight him. I think since Kovalev has that long range, you know what I mean? I think he needs to put his guard up, kind of like Winky right, come in, and from there he has a repertoire of punches that he can hit Kovalev with. I'm telling you, and once Yarde gets to his body, Kovalev will quit like he did against Andre Ward. Andre Ward did expose him. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, let's not forget that. Let's go to the panel real quick. Anybody got anything to say in regards to what Vinny Mac just said?
Bye.
Okay, now come on. Come on. Serious repose only.
Come on, Recognize. I want to hear it.
Yeah, it's in their footwork, man. The main part, like beyond the jab's going to be the best weapon for Kovalev all night. Clearly, it's in their footwork, man. That's precise. Like to call it their wheels. Look at what's going to get them to move their artillery into position. Yarde really only has like a leap. He has like one hop and then an explode. He can't do much after that. His feet or legs are basically just fucking heavy. And Kovalev knows how to keep guys at a distance. Like it's. I'm telling you, and Yarde keeps his hands down at his chest. What happens when he starts to get a little gassed? That third and fourth comes around. He's been a little tensed up. This is a huge moment. His muscles are, tiring quicker than normal. It's as Play saying, big ask just to be in that moment. He's going to be stressed. I don't care how confident or comfortable the kid is. It's a high stress level.
Yeah, I don't like how he's built, Yarde, especially for his height, especially for the weight class he's in. I don't trust that kind of build, almost reminiscent of Anthony Joshua, just not as good pound for pound wise, obviously. So I mean, listen, I understand what Vinnie Mac is saying, going off a gut feeling, I think, more than anything, and I don't do that. He's got to prove it to me. From what I've seen from him, he's going to be right there, easy to be controlled by that jab. Set him up for bigger punches as like Anthony said. That third and that fourth round starts coming around and starting to get a little bit more tired. He just doesn't have the track record for me to have any confidence that he's going to win this fight. He hasn't fought anybody close to Kovalev, and he's not about defense. He's all about offense, and I think that's going to be his.
Let me say one more thing
on the fight.
Totally agree, but also people have to look at what is if Yarde wins, everyone says basically it has to be by knockout, right? I think most people agree with that. If it's even remotely close, Kovalev would probably win, correct? Okay, whatever. So he got to win by knockout. How's he going to do it? I haven't seen anything from him that tells me he's going to be able to get in and really put a hurting on Kovalev, just basically based off of footwork alone from these guys. And because one is amazing at timing and controlling the distance. One is just great, really, at kind of just exploding over and over again, really, with just like two-punch combos or whatever. And lower-tiered opposition. Sorry, I haven't seen anything that tells me he can deliver the knockout shot or shots on a fighter of that level.
Thunderdome, you came to the right show because we have precisely the right person who's going to tell us which punch is going to do Kovalev in. Vinnie Mac, you always pick the perfect punch. You mentioned Teofimo Lopez, who's going to knock out Lomachenko with a left hook if they ever fight. Anthony Yarde, Kovalev. What's the punch that's going to win Yarde the fight? What's the punch that's really going to do Kovalev in?
The punch, I believe, that will win him the fight is that left hook. He has a great left hook. It's overrated. I mean, it's underrated, and he places it very well, and it's sudden. And I think he will catch Kovalev. And I think you have a start to make it, bro.
Well, I saw him hurt that electrical engineer guy with a left hook. But
yeah, those kind of guys at that level, they go down from slap.
Not electrical.
It is what it is.
But a left hook.
He got zapped.
I don't know what happened there.
He got zapped.
Hey, Mr. BDA.
Yeah.
If Vinnie Mac is right in this fight, will that redeem himself?
If Vinnie Mac is correct, it'll start the road to redemption. It won't redeem him because he had about 4 horrible predictions. So it gets him started. Let's put it that way. But no, it doesn't. It's
we'll
not.
Change his name to Broken Clock. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I love that.
Vinnie Mac is right. I'm going to call him Mr. Vinnie Mac.
Thank you.
There you go. There you go. All right, Vinnie Mac. We have to move on, but thank you for calling in. And as always, we give you the last word. So, anything else you want to say before we move on?
No. Goodbye.
Yes. If Yarde wins,
take care, buddy.
I will be calling in the show, and I will be calling out you guys, all you guys that pick Kovalev. I will be calling you guys out one by one.
But hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Why do you?
I'll let you guys go. Thank you. Have a great night.
Vinnie Mac, hold on a second. Don't go yet.
Yes.
You say you're gonna call us out because you get one prediction right. You're gonna call us out. I don't understand that logic.
No, I just wanna call on the show and say, recognize picked Kovalev by knockout. I want to know what happened in each round and tell me why Yarde was giving him a beating in each round. I want him to go in detail, round by round, to tell me what happened.
I will do that, buddy boy.
Damn.
I will do it. Okay.
That's gonna take
a full-time job.
Yeah, it's gonna take a long time, man.
That's all
I will do that. No problem.
That's gonna take a long time, man, because we're about 7 people on the panel, so that's gonna take about 70 minutes, man, each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, thanks for calling.
Yeah, take care, buddy. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Have a great night.
You too, Vinny
you
Mac.
too.
Stay safe. Drive safely, because I know he's always in his car.
People are calling Vinny Mac. As he's calling him Vinny Left Hook Mac. That sounds pretty good.
I like Vinny Mac.
All right, Vinny, we have another phone call.
Okay, we have another phone call. 503, you're on the air. 503.
Hey, yo, what up? What up? Hey, real quick, Yarde's going to get that ass whooping. He's juiced up. We all know he's juiced up, and those muscles are going to lay, keep him down, and Kovalev will get that KO. And that's all I got.
All right, fantastic. See, that's a good call. Short, sweet, and to the point. 503, you want to identify yourself so we can give you props for that call? 503?
Thank you.
I think he's gone.
No, he's still there.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is this
Thank you so much.
Is this Versus, or who is this? I mean, is this one of the regular listeners?
Give us your name, 503.
What's up?
Your name.
Give us
we
your
want
name.
Vivant your name.
Your name.
And we want to write.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, what's your name?
Oh, what's my name?
I'm here.
Your nickname. Your nickname.
Oh, Josue.
Musway. Ah, there you
Josue.
go. All right. Shout out to Musway. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Fantastic. Good call, man.
Thank you for calling.
Yo, let me finish off by saying Viva Mexico, Viva Andy Ruiz, and Viva Canelo Alvarez.
Now, see, that I
All
disagree
right.
with. I disagree with that. I disagree with that completely. Viva Mexico? No.
Is that
I agree
Nopal?
with him. I agree with him.
Nopal.
Nopal. Yo, this is Nopal. This is Nopal.
Hey, I had Canelo winning 8 rounds to 4 the first fight.
10 rounds. In the
No,
first
10
fight.
rounds. Yeah.
2, I had it for Canelo.
In the first fight. In the first fight, man.
In the first fight. In the second fight, I had it 12-0. Canelo.
All right. If you guys want to call in, you see the number right there on the top of your screen. Sticking to this Yarde thing, first of all, Vinny Mac sounds like a very resentful person. He wants all of us to give him a breakdown after the fight if Yarde wins. You know how long that's going to take? That's going to take like 70 minutes, man, or maybe even more. Also, despite
phone call.
Oh, jeez. Okay, real quick. I wanted to get something going here. All right. Hold on a second. All right. 512. You're on the air. 512. 512.
There's this guy named Mike Burton on the Outlaws Generation channel, and he says he wants to fight you on a boxing match.
All right.
It's gonna be a donation. It's gonna be for St. Jude's. He said he's gonna schedule your flight to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you agree with what he wants to do?
Well, you know what? Are you talking about Chef Mike Morales? Is that who you said?
No, he says he wants to fight you because he doesn't.
Say the name again. Say the name again. Say the name again of the person.
Generation. It's like
say the name of the person because you said the name.
Schedule the flight to your
you
place.
said the name. I want the name because I don't even know who the guy is. So if you say the name again, I'll try to search him up.
His name's Mike Burton.
Okay. Yeah, you called in the other day. You called in the other day to say
Michael
the name,
John Burton.
but we don't even know who he is. Who is he? Is he like a video game guy or something? He calling up. I don't understand what's he wants to get that name out there, but I'll give him the publicity if he wants. But I don't even know who he is. He has to tell me.
Said his name is Mike Burcham.
Hey, he's Mike Burton. Nopal. No, it wasn't Nopal.
Nopal Burton.
If it's Nopal Burcham, I'll fly out there and I'll fight him.
Free flight.
Hey, listen, I like Texas.
I think it's his guy promoting a Zelda channel there.
No, he said Michael. People are saying, did he say Michael Benson or Mike Burton? I don't know. I asked him to say the name and he didn't want to. Anyway,
Burcham. I thought it was Burchett.
It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like some CIA agent.
Yeah.
All right, listen. What's his name? Kovalev. Kovalev Yarde. All right, so we got Yarde, and he says, here's what he says according to Boxing Scene. He says, "I have tunnel vision to knock Sergey Kovalev out." Now, if I go to the comment section here on Boxing Scene, as you can see, I'm putting it up on the screen there. There's a lot of people. Even the UK fans don't have that much hope for him. So here's what people are saying. Somebody says you're going to have double vision. This other guy says Yarde will get exposed as another pumped-up bodybuilding Brit with a glass chain and weak beating heart. Don't drink the UK water. So as you can see, guys, even the Yarde fans, if there is such a thing, aren't even all that impressed with him. Let's get some predictions right away here. All right.
Why are the odds so close for this fight then? Why is Kovalev only a 2-1 favorite? I heard Precise talking about the Brits bet heavy on their guys. Understandable, but still 2-1. Do the bookies know something that we don't? Like honestly.
You never know, man. I mean, that's the thing. Why we were talking a little bit about that earlier. I don't understand why the odds are so. I think many people are. Maybe the insiders have been hearing some things we haven't in regards to Kovalev's. What's his name? So some of the things that are going on behind the scenes for him in his day-to-day life. Maybe they've heard something about him being, I don't know, not training properly. Maybe he's hitting the drink more than usual. I mean, I don't know, man.
I'm curious. I do know the Brits, their lines are crazy, man. They bet on, I don't know how they bet, but their lines are nuts. So it could be them.
Maybe, man. Maybe. But by the way, I just looked up the name Mike Burton to give this guy publicity because he seems to need it because he keeps calling. I don't even see. I think it's this guy maybe, some stand-up comic from Calgary. First of all, if he's a stand-up from Calgary, he definitely needs the publicity because there's nothing going on in Calgary. But anyway, going back to Kovalev
He
versus.
didn't even crack a fucking joke.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe that was a joke.
Oh, come on. So Yarde. All right. Hold on a second. Fuck, I lost my. Okay, so here's Canelo. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Now, what's his name? The manager of Kovalev, Aegis Kilmas, is saying that, and this is according to Boxing Scene, by the way. According to him, he says the Canelo Kovalev deal in place should Kovalev win. Says manager. Supposedly, Canelo's team came back with another offer. And they said, yeah, we'll pay you more money because apparently the first one was outrageous in how little, the amount was. Now they're saying that this fight said. So is this another sign that maybe Kovalev will overlook Yarde if he's looking for that ginger payday?
Is the ginger payday just a negotiating tactic?
No, are we back? Yeah, we're back. All right, sorry about that, folks. We are back. Come on. No, we're... Yeah, all right, so sorry about that, folks. Some technical difficulties. According to my readings here, we are back. Now I'm just trying to connect back on Discord so that we can get our panelists back. I don't know what happened. Cine Macias is a stand-up comedian. Comedian is a CIA agent, just like Mr. BDA said, shut down the stream. I tell you guys, I know my stuff, man. I can read an agent from a mile away. Now I'm just trying to get back on the Discord here. Maybe if I close it. Can you guys hear us, by the way? People in the chat, people in the YouTube, can you hear me? All right. Let us know if you can hear. Let me know if you can hear me. All right, guys. Butcher keeps putting the number up there. Hold on a second. We'll be back. Okay, Saint Brit says yes, you can hear me. Fantastic. All right, hold on a second. A very interesting talk here. We're getting into the whole Kovalev overlooking, or maybe overlooking, Yarde for Canelo. We still don't know. And we're trying to find that out. Maybe it's a negotiating tactic, like Thunderdome said, to get Golovkin to accept a lower payday. Saint Brit says he's got sound. How come all you other motherfuckers can't hear me? What's going on here? Motherfuckers. Alright, hold on a second. We're gonna get this straight now. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright, Discord does not want to connect for some reason. So it's just gonna be me for the... I'm trying to get back to people here. I'm trying to get people back on the Discord. Having a hard time... What is this stuff? It's almost like... I think it was a Discord problem. I think. Close and reopen. Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta... Yeah, okay, let me... Hey, wait a minute. Falpol calls me BD gay. Come on. Yeah.
We got somebody else on. We got IU. Who's that? IU.
That's precise.
Oh.
Alright, sorry about that, folks. I don't know how... I don't know. I think it was Mike Benson, the CIA operative, who took us down, I think. Anyway, were you guys carrying on without me, or how did this work?
Yeah, I thought you were here.
Nobody
All right.
cares about you.
Well, I already knew that, but but yeah, carry on. Let's not kill the flow of the conversation.
Hey, is there any word on Usyk fighting in Chicago against the Calm? Like, is that legit?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Like what fight?
Usyk into Calm.
Oh.
And I'm sure they're gonna put some Polish in the undercard.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a big... They have a big Polish population. How many Polish fighters are there?
With a talent like Usyk, they should not even have to stack an undercard with like a local demographic. This dude should draw no matter where he fights at, and he should be in fucking New York.
Yeah, he would do good in New York. Sure. Chicago too. I mean, Chicago's one of those big cities. There's a lot of those Eastern Europeans over there.
Yeah.
There
has to be. I've never been there, but I just know New York has a fucking history for turning out for them dudes. But yeah, I'm sure Chicago. I don't even know the stadium though. What I was basically get like the amount of tickets. This isn't a big stadium, right? I think it's pretty small.
No, this is where the Bulls play. Chicago Bulls.
Shit.
The Blackhawks.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
Because think about it, this is Chicago, October. I'm not saying it's freezing cold in Chicago, but it's a little cold, you know. So ain't gonna be no outdoor stadium, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Apparently, Alan.
Yeah, go ahead. Butcher.
Sorry, but Alan. Yes, Alan in the chat saying that Michael Montero said that Takam is out. He signed with a different promoter.
Takam is out. He signed with a different.
Yeah, and then on Rival Boxing, McGregor says Takam ain't fighting, guys. Why not? I don't understand.
Okay. I have no idea, man.
Eddie Hearn said it too.
You know what? You know who would be a nice fight for him in Chicago? And I think he's big enough. Only if they were like ready to fight each other right now. Him and Beterbiev, man. I think Beterbiev is going to come out of the light heavyweight division as the best fighter. I would love to fight it.
Beterbiev and Usyk?
I'm not saying that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know,
yet.
but is there a weight discrepancy though?
We kind of saw
have you looked at Beterbiev? Dude, he's iron skin. I think that's I'm not like his fucking build. It's like I don't think that's regular skin. I think that's like iron.
No, it's so tight against his muscles. You can see like every fiber in that dude's body. It is creepy. It's those fucking Chechens, man. They have that build.
They have this fucking crazy build, bro. It's like they're like
Khabib Nurmagomedov got the same build. He's just a little smaller.
I heard Chicago would be the perfect setting for that fight. Oh, yeah. New York, Chicago, cities like it's not gonna happen. I know that. You know? Not yet. You know.
Hey, but you know what? Recognize Usyk and Beterbiev did fight in the amateurs, if I remember correctly.
I know they did. It was close.
It was a good fight
Usyk
for as
won.
long as it went.
Usyk won.
But you know what?
I believe he won his gold medal against him.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't remember that. But
or it was like excuse me. It was like an eliminator to get to the finals.
Yeah, Beterbiev did medal in the Olympics, but he would have. Yeah, if they fought there, I mean, hell.
He beat him by points. He beat him on point 15-13, something like that. It's close.
By the way, I was on what's his name's Anthony Yarde's Instagram page just to see what people were saying or what he was posting, and I went in there and he's getting invaded by a bunch of Russians. It's almost like they're trying to steal his account, just like they stole the elections, the 2016 elections. Anyway,
who's getting invaded?
Anthony Yarde on his Instagram, because he posted this picture. Somebody photoshopped this picture of him hitting Kovalev with a left hook. It might have been Vinny Mac who posted this.
Vinny left hook.
Vinny left hook.
With a left hook, yeah.
That was Vinny Mac, yo.
That's Vinny Mac. And then I found, like I said, I found out this comments written in Russian. So I said, "What? Let me go to Google Translate, see what they mean." So there's this comment here. I put it on the Google Translate and it says, "Human, you pussy. Kovalev will belittle your confidence. Petushada." And I don't know what Petushada means, but they're calling him a pussy. The Russians are invading. So that's just a little...
in Russian or something. Petushada.
Petushada. Hey, Bedushki. That sounds like... That's a little preview of what Yarde is going to experience once he steps foot... Well, he's already in Russia, by the way.
No, I'm going to do that. The next time I get into an argument, I'm going to call it Petushada.
Petushada.
I'm gonna say that to a Puerto Rican too.
Oh,
that's exactly what I'm gonna say it to. He'd be really confused. What the fuck did he just call me?
You're gonna get stabbed, man. You're gonna get stabbed.
I'm always ready.
Always ready. By the way,
I'm always ready.
You know what? Let's get right down to it with the Anthony Yarde thing. Anthony Yarde versus Kovalev. It's gonna be an interesting fight, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm gonna give you my prediction right away. Let's stop beating around the bush here. I think Yarde is gonna take a beating in there. His defense, he's going to eat the 1-2-1 all night. He's going to try to do the shoulder roll. He's going to be eating jabs. And then once he gets set up for the right hand, he's going to go down. Can he take Kovalev out with one shot? Maybe. Anybody can be taken out with one shot. Also, I don't think his stamina is all that great. If he thinks he's got superior stamina than Kovalev, Kovalev has a perfect boxer build. He's not all muscle bound. He's lean, mean. I know that's a cliche, but that's all I got so far. And meanwhile, Yarde looks like an NFL player. I don't see this going well for Yarde. That's my prediction. Kovalev by stoppage. Yeah. All right. So I don't know.
Kovalev by 6th round TKO.
Kovalev by 6th
round.
Doesn't
go past 6. It don't go past 6.
All right. So we got recognized.
I put money down with somebody that it don't go past 6. That the belt for the fight will be over before the ring of the 7th bell.
Oh.
To start the 7th. But yeah. I mean, really, the only reason it could go past that is if that's why I asked, does anyone know what the over-under is? Because that might have a little bit of a say in when Kovalev takes his 2 belts. I'm not joking.
Huh. Well, that's... I don't know, man. I mean, but first of all, you're picking Kovalev, Thunderdome, or...
Yes, absolutely. By knockout.
Okay, it's interesting. Knockout, but you're not telling us Vinny Mac right now is
breaking
beating
up,
you.
Man.
Who, me?
The fuck is that sound? Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear some shitty mic sound.
Yeah, Thunderdome. Vinny Mac has one up on you because he actually picked the punch, so you have to pick a punch too.
Oh man, that 1-2-1 might be the one, dude. That's what he's gonna be eating all night. So I mean, you pick it. It's a 1-2-3. It's really rock paper. So I'll limit it down to the power punches. 2 or 3, I'll say it's gonna be the fucking straight right hand.
There you go. Precise. How about you,
we
man?
had to pick. That's the punch we would all pick.
Yeah, that's the combo right there that we would all pick. Precise. What about you, man? What's your prediction? All right. I see Precise is probably sacrificing a goat in Ecuador right now. So we'll get back to him when he's ready to come back. So that's about it from the yard. Butcher, what about you? Your predictions? Sorry, I forgot to ask you.
The 7th round, the referee is gonna jump in.
The referee is going to jump in 7th round.
Yeah,
Hold on a
I'm
second.
thinking this could be pretty brutal, guys. If Kovalev's on point, this is a beatdown. Like, this is a fucking beatdown. I just don't know where Kovalev's going to be at. That's why I said, if anyone wants, I just want to see some footage of the guy. Any footage. Just give me some footage of him hitting the pads. I'd be happy. Or a bag.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't understand why they're not showing this and any footage for this fight. It
But
almost makes
if Kovalev's Kovalev, this is a beatdown. I think everyone. This is kind of tailor made for him. Wouldn't everyone agree with that? His feet are slow. He keeps his hands down. He's a power puncher, so Kobe really only has to look out for one or two big punches at a time. He's not that
Almost
good
feel
at
like this is a
controlling
cherry
distance. What's that?
I almost feel like this is a cherry pick, but the odds don't say that. But
it could, yeah. I mean, I
like
could see people labeling it that, but no one is. That's so. I don't know, man. To me, it's a guy who's really tailor made for Kovalev's type of style. Like,
that's why I'm wondering why they're even jumping in there. I mean, even Fernando Vargas, when he fought Trinidad, which was way too soon, but at least he had the I-Core 10 Yorboy Campus on his resume, and even Winky Wright, which we went on to know that he was a world-class fighter.
He was a 3.5. If I remember correctly, he was a 3.5 to 1 underdog fight for Vargas.
Yeah, but Vargas, like we're saying, like you said, he had that Yorboy Campus fight. He had those fights to prove his mettle and to himself. He had to prove to himself that he could, hang at the top level. And once he did prove that, I mean, I still think he went in there too early. They definitely rushed the kid. He's an example of you can look back at his career and say this is what you don't do with a fighter this talented, which is sad. But yeah, man, even that step up seemed pretty damn big for such a talented fighter. And this is a much bigger step up. This is like an incredible jump. Unrivaled was even talking about it. Like, name another one. Like not another jump up like this, but a prospect, going for his title shot. Man, the odds don't look good for Yarde. They don't.
No, they really don't, man. Fun. Now, if we want to go back in history, like I mentioned what's his name? Mayweather against Hernando Hernandez. But again, Mayweather had a long amateur record before that. He'd been boxing since he was a kid, basically. Yarde doesn't have that. What about Azuma Nelson, Salvador Sanchez? What did Azuma Nelson have in the bag in terms of amateur experience?
Well, he had a good amateur background, and I think he only had like 14, 15 fights going into the Salvador Sanchez fight. But maybe you could say that's a comparison. But there was some talent there. There was some buzz. Man. There was some buzz on Azuma Nelson. Yeah. Remember after the fucking fight, what Salvador Sanchez said, and it turned out to be true. He goes, "This guy is gonna be a great fighter. Like, this was a tough fucking fight." That's what he was trying to tell you. You know.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that with Yarde.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that with Yarde. I could be wrong, but I just look, dude. I just think that when it comes to Yarde, whoever is promoting him and helping guide his career, I don't seem like there's any. Let's graduate him and not put him in so early against guys like Kovalev. There's like almost some admiration for those guys. Like, if he beats Kovalev, I gotta admire the kid, because they're like, and the people that are guiding his career, they're taking that risk with him. This is a fight he's supposed to lose.
Yeah, it's definitely a gamble on his people. That's for damn sure. And yeah, I mean, they could be, some worst case scenario, he got to rebuild. But you said you could be wrong about Yarde. I'll just go out on the the big thick branch and say I'm not wrong about the kid.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
Like
if he beats Kovalev, he's gonna get fucking massacred in one of his next bits. So it doesn't really matter.
Right, like picture him against Beterbiev or Vozdik or shit, for that matter, fucking Pascal. Pascal, don't sleep on him. We saw what happened with Marcus Brown, right? Like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
he fucking basically knocked Marcus Brown out. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, he knocked
no
Brown out.
disrespect to Yarde. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
There's levels to this shit. He's not at that elite level. With this division is stacked. Also,
This is how good Kovalev is. He beat Pascal, who everybody thought was over the hill, which I believe they were right in thinking that way. Who went in there and beat a top prospect basically by knockout in Marcus. That's how good Kovalev is.
Yeah.
So I can't, is Yarde? Are we saying Yarde's that good? Is Yarde that good? I don't think so. He's got to prove me wrong.
Yeah, he's not. I don't care. No disrespect. He's just, I don't know what level he's on yet, to be honest, because I haven't seen enough of him tested. I need to see him tested.
Well, that's the thing about...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about Anthony Yarde is that's everybody wants to know. There's too many unanswered questions, and the odds are against him. But if he does win, it's going to be quite a surprise, and it's going to be quite an addition to an already burgeoning, or actually I should say already established division. When you have a lot of these killers in this division, and you have Beterbiev, who says he wants to watch against Usyk at cruiserweight, maybe even heavyweight. Yes, I think he said.
I would like to see that fight.
And he's going to be taking
cruiserweight mainly, but I wouldn't mind seeing that heavyweight.
Well, that's the thing, and then we got Beterbiev would have to get past Gvozdyk first. Now, let me just give you guys a little taste of what people are saying out there in the chat room. Triple JJ says, "I'll give Yarde props depending on what kind of Kovalev shows up, on what kind of Kovalev shows up." So some people are saying that if Kovalev shows up looking bad, that's the thing though. If Yarde makes him look bad, then that's not Kovalev looking bad. We got to give Yarde some credit too. Unrivaled Boxing Talk says Azuma beat Chiteule, who's better than anyone Yarde ever fought. Nes Mendoza says Kovalev
that was before. That was. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask Unrivaled. That was before he got in there with Sanchez, Salvador. That's a question I'm asking.
Yeah, he said. I think he said that it was before the Sanchez.
Okay. So then he already showed promise. That he was going to be a good fighter.
Apparently, Buck says if Yarde wins a belt, he'll do a Frank Warren special and have 10 WBO ranked 15th place fighters. Yeah, he's gonna take it easy after this one if he wins. LR Chiga says Pascal was not over the hill when Kovalev stopped him. He is now, though. Uncle Burnt Apostrophe says Kovalev...
No, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, because you said that Pascal was a good win, man. Pascal...
No, he beat Pascal. He beat Pascal. My point was, going into the Marcus Brown fight, they thought he was over the hill. Maybe he... But he's still good enough to beat a top prospect in Marcus Brown, is what I'm saying. And to me, he knocked him out.
And it's not like Pascal has ever been, demolished. I mean, he was Kovalev beat him up, but then Pascal gave, he handled himself pretty well against what's his name, Bivol, and against Alvarez, and what was the other loss he had?
Correct.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's never really been
Bivol, Alvarez. Fuck. I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like I don't blame people for thinking that he's over. But it just goes to show you, I'm just trying to make the point about what Yarde is going up against.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? A guy like Pascal would be a fucking test for him. Don't tell me Pascal won't be a test for Yarde. Yes, he will.
Absolutely.
Mentally and probably definitely in the ring.
That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Some people are giving Yarde a chance. But let's face it, if there had never been any mention of Kovalev and he was just fighting Pascal after Pascal beat Michael Brown, how many people would be picking Yarde with, immense certainty? How many people would actually be doing that? I think you'd see a lot of people split in that fight, even the Yarde fans. So now all of a sudden, some Yarde fans are giving him picking him to beat Kovalev. I think that's a little bit of a, you know what I think people are doing? They're banking on Yarde, because if they got nothing to lose. If he loses, hey, he lost to a guy that was much more experienced. But if he wins, man, they're gonna get some big payoff on this one because they're gonna be able to tell people, see, I told you. Like Johnny Boy. Every time Johnny Boy gets a good pick, he goes, I told you, motherfuckers. I told you, motherfuckers. Like, all right, take it easy. By the way, we got
Johnny Boy's part of the mob. They show off.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets but you remember he still has to give us a little taste of each package that he picks up. Every envelope he picks up, a little percent, a little taste, a little bit has to go to us.
I think he has to. Yeah, he should be contributing. Come on,
yeah,
come
absolutely.
on, Johnny Boy. I'm waiting for my piece.
You're waiting for your
They
taste.
sell a dime bag in the park. I want it.
By the way, we got McGregor.
McGregor, yeah.
Yeah, we got McGregor on the line. McGregor, are you there?
Hello?
What's up, Mark?
What? Nice.
Well, you guys cut up a little bit for me.
I can hear Frank fine. Mr. BDA seems to be cutting off.
Yeah, I think I'm cutting off a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. All right, so
you're cutting off.
All right. McGregor, thank you for being on. We're just talking about Kovalev versus Yarde. What do you think? Prediction for that one?
I haven't really seen many people take as joint of a leap as Yarde. The thing that I'm questioning on Yarde is his chin. Not based on the fact they've managed him through all of his fights, and his highest knockout percentage opponent had 54%. And that was Sequeira. Everyone else was in the 40s to 30s to 20% range, which is kind of startling to think, really, that that's very, very specific.
That's an amazing point.
That is, yeah, that's a very good point because a guy who has a high knockout percentage against top level competition.
Why were they putting him against such light punchers? That's the question. What do they know?
Talking about Marcus Brown and Pascal and stuff like that, we saw what happened. Like, Pascal, he's only lost to top tier guys. Like, he's only lost to Alvarez. He's only lost to Kovalev twice. He lost to Froch. He lost to Hopkins. Yeah. And he lost to Bivol. That's it. They're the only 6 losses on the dude's resume.
Correct. And you can say he gave those guys good. Kovalev was a little different. He stopped. I thought the second fight was a little bit more.
He got schooled against Bivol, to be fair. But like his fight with Froch wasn't it was a pretty good fight. His fight with Hopkins was competitive. Like, the dude's been around forever. He's a lineal champion. He beat Chad Dawson. Like, he's good. And we saw what this experience does and what these elite level guys in this like tier, even these shot ones, like a Pascal who people call shot, can do to one of these prospects. And Marcus, he had been in there with like Hot Rod, and he'd been in there with Badu Jack. Anthony Yarde's been in there with Travis Reeves, Sek Locke, and Darius Sek.
I don't know those guys.
That's the thing. If you don't know who they are, how good is the dude really? Like, people are talking about the shoulder roll. You mean the shoulder roll where he gets caught with check left hooks by guys who have no power, like Tony Avalon, who has like 7 knockouts? If that's Kovalev, he's like, look, maybe the theories are right. Kovalev, he's throwing wads of cash at women on planes and getting thrown off, and he's on the vodka, and he's having mental breakdowns, and he's got court cases and stuff. You're as good as your last fight, right? In his last fight, he beat Eliter Alvarez.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Anthony Yarde beat Travis Reeves. I mean, Eliter Alvarez would take out Travis Reeves in 3 rounds.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. The way you put it, that comparing the opposition, there's still that, I was asking the question, hey, just because you haven't beaten anybody doesn't mean you can't beat a guy up once you step up. But you have to admit the odds are against Yarde because there's too many questions unanswered. Too many unanswered questions. There's the chin, there's the stamina, there's even the question of, the skills. Let's just start off with the skills because remember, guys, I'll give you an example. When Luis Arias fought Jacobs, I'd seen Arias fight, I'd seen him spar, and I said, you know what, this guy's got some skills, he's got some potential. Maybe he can give Jacobs a tough fight. Actually, I did say it was going to be a tough fight, and it was a tough fight for 3 rounds. Then Jacobs, the superior fighter, established the rhythm, established the distance, and Luis Arias just started to go into survival mode. So when you have guys at this level, and there's one guy that's top 3 in the world, and the other guy is, I don't know how Yarde is top 10, by the way, according to some organizations. There's that difference of the little nuances that allow a guy to, compete with the other guy, or just go into survival mode, and that's what we don't know about Yarde.
I get that, but like, at least with Arias, he had beaten Magomedov. He beat Magomedov, man. That dude went in there and he beat fucking Derek Webster. Yarde hasn't been in there with anyone who's beaten anyone.
Mm-hmm. That's a good. Yeah, that's. Listen, there's. I don't know why they're taking this fight. Is it a cash out, McGregor? Is that what's going on here?
Look, it could be. Look, I think he's been extremely well managed into a title fight if they're trying to cash it. I think he's been excessively well managed, right?
Mm-hmm.
To do that. But he's been terribly managed if they think they're going in there without having a firefight against Kovalev. If Kovalev going in there to try and knock out Kovalev and Yarde gets caught with a check, he's fucked. Kovalev will finish him the second he hurts him.
I think that's what's going to happen too. By the way,
but there's one key factor here that I'm interested in. If Yarde hurts Kovalev, how quickly will Buddy McGirt try and stop the fight? Like in the past, he did it in the past, but recently we saw, rest in peace, Lord rest his soul, Maxim Dadashev pass away in the ring. What's going to be going on with Buddy McGirt in the corner?
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. It'll be interesting if he fucking stops that fight early because he gets buzzed. He's a little buzzed. And he stops the fight.
I think he's experienced enough to know that when fighters get hurt, it's from prolonged, not just get hurt out. But I mean, I don't know. Emotion could take over, but he should know better. But as far as I'm wondering if he's struggling to make the weight, so they're just trying to have a big one at 175 before he moves up. Because
he's not that. He's one of those. I believe he's 5'9". Anybody could correct me if I'm wrong.
He's 6 foot tall.
Who's 6 foot tall?
Yarde.
But hold on. That's according
he wasn't
to
6 foot tall when he stood next to fucking Sakara, who's 5'11", and Yarde was shorter than him.
That's the thing, though.
6 feet tall.
That's the thing. According, hold on. Let me just clarify. According to BoxRec, he's 6 feet tall. But then again, they had Vladimir Sidorenko listed as 5'7", and he's actually 5'4". So that's BoxRec.
There's a picture of. Yeah, I get it. But there's a picture of Yarde next to not Chisora, Dylan White. Dylan White 6'3", supposedly.
Right.
And the difference made sense. There was like 3 to 4 inch difference, height difference. So I'm asking myself, where the hell?
Tall.
Huh?
No, go ahead, Bucho. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, are the legs of Yarde like really skinny or something? Because obviously, where's the weight missing? Yeah.
He's not. Look, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he's not 6 feet.
Yeah, that's just his manager trying to intimidate other fighters. I don't see him being 6 foot. He would weigh so he couldn't make 175 with that build and being 6 foot tall. He'd be like 200 fucking pounds.
The legs.
Well, maybe he's under 6 foot tall, but like the guy is fucking 4 feet wide. You know?
I mean, or he can really cut the water weight. Man.
Yeah, he's 4 feet wide, dude. He's fucking a stocky dude. But anyway, whatever height he is, he just.
Holy shit, he's huge.
He hasn't stepped in with the level of competition that would lead me to believe right, he beat that guy and he did it pretty easy. He could with Kovalev. Yes, sometimes a great fighter, all he needs is just the right opponent to show everybody he's a great fighter. I get that can happen, but from what I've seen of him, I don't see greatness. I didn't pick that.
Look, man, I'm gonna just be honest. We all have a boxing eye. We all know this about ourselves. That's why we're talking to each other. Well, when you see a fucking kid coming up, you immediately know if there's something like, oh, whoa, I'm gonna pay attention. That you see it. I don't. He's like a good domestic level fighter. I would suggest he could probably make some, good UK fights. Talk some shit I can see that being his level, but I'm not seeing like the who necessarily had a good teacher. I'm not seeing. It's just more like a big tough guy rushing in, slugging on low level opposition.
Yeah, and that opposition is pretty low. Let me tell you, it's ridiculous that he's jumping from those guys to Kovalev.
Then you're asking him to go to another country.
You're gonna have to apologize to Vinny Mac next week. But Mr. BDA, we have another phone call.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's somebody caller 585. You're on the air. 585.
Mr. Vinny Mac, right there.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi.
Yes. This is Vince.
Vinny Mac again.
Yes. I'm just. I had to call back because I see you guys are making fun of Anthony Yarde, and I don't appreciate it. And you guys need to show some respect to the future world champ.
Wait a minute.
I need names of everyone who's picking Kovalev. I need names so I can call you guys out.
Hold on a second. First of all, I gotta clarify something. Who was making fun of Yarde, and what was the insult? I missed it.
Well, I heard Mr. Recognize. He said that
that's respect for you.
That
right there.
it will not go past 7 rounds. Am I right about that?
6 rounds. You're almost right. Yeah.
6 rounds. Are you serious right now? With the skill level of Yarde, you're saying he's not going to go past 6 rounds?
Yeah, I'm serious.
You got to be kidding me. Okay, and
I'm not kidding
there was another guy who said that it will not go 7 rounds. It will not go. They said that the corner will stop the fight on the stool. That's ridiculous. Who said that? I need names.
3 of us actually. The 7th bell would not ring. 3 of us.
Well, put it this way.
Guys.
Put it this way, Vinny Mac. It's all of us here.
This is not funny. I'm serious right now. But okay, go ahead.
All of us basically said that. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Some
I'm
guy
gonna have a feast on the post show. I'm gonna have a feast. I'm gonna call every single one of you guys out.
Are you gonna have a drink with that feast?
That's all I have to say. All right. I'll keep listening, but if I hear more disrespect, then I'm gonna have to call back at a later time. All right.
Oh man!
All right, Vinny.
Vinny
Take care,
Mac,
buddy boy. Bye.
You know how happy he's gonna be if Yarde wins.
Oh fuck!
I'm starting to like Vinny Mac.
Refreshing YouTube over and over like BDA pop.
Some guy with a Russian name in the chat was saying, "Let him talk. I'm recording."
Yeah. By the way, that Russian guy, he posted some long ass text, and I put it up. I put it through Google Translate. So this is what he says. He says, "You fucking American cunts." No, he didn't say that. He said, "All Britishes." He says, "All Britishes." Now remember, this is AI technology, so it's not perfect. He says, "All Brits suck at doping." No, I think he says they're doping. Look at Joshua and Yarde. Yarde will drop like Joshua because without pharmaceuticals, they are not athletes. Before how to test the Yarde with Kovalev, it should test him. All right, so that's obviously Google Translate not doing its job.
Yeah, it's Google Translate is doing it by the T, like how.
Now he's saying something
it
in
sounds
Russian.
better in Russian, probably.
You get the gist of it, though. You get the gist of it. He's saying that Yarde is juiced. Yeah, Bucho,
now he's saying something in Russian in the chat, and now he's saying, "Call Yarde out. He's your opponent."
All right.
Call Yarde out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
He's not my opponent. He's Kovalev.
Listen, back to the whole thing about Yarde. Yeah, these guys lie. These guys lie about the promoters or managed. I think they're the ones that lie about the height and all that. Because remember, there was when Brock Lesnar fought Shane Carwin. They were trying to build up Shane Carwin over at the UFC as a guy that was gonna take Brock Lesnar out, even though it didn't take much to fucking bring Brock Lesnar down. But they had this guy Shane Carwin who's built like a tank, and they would always promote him as being 6'5", 6'5". Then he fought Frank Mir, who's 6'3", by the way. And they listed Shane Carwin as 6'5" and Frank Mir as 6'3", and then you see them facing off in the middle of the octagon. Shane Carwin was about 6'1". He was 2 inches shorter than Frank Mir, but they were saying, oh, he's 6 foot. So it wouldn't surprise me if these BoxRec guys or the managers and the promoters, they do the same thing. Because how can
that's
Yarde
overdoing it?
We know they do it. They've this is historical. They've talked about doing this shit. When they fill out the papers for the fighter, they'll add. They almost always will say a guy. A lot of times, if they want the guy to be intimidating size wise, they will add height on because they know you see the pictures, you see how wide he is. Now you're thinking, well, damn, this dude's way bigger.
Yeah.
Little intimidation. I mean, everyone knows the trick now. Though.
Yeah, I mean, but like 6'1" versus 6'5", there's a noticeable difference. Like, so if you tell me I'm the guy I'm fighting, I never met him, 6'5", so I expect the guy who's going to be considerably taller than me, and then I get him there and he's my height or shorter. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what just happened here?
Hey, you know what? It might actually give Kovalev more confidence once he actually faces up with the guy and says, hey, wait a minute, he's not 6 feet tall. He's more like 5'8" or something. Maybe that's going to give him confidence.
Some people are delusional about their height. Like, I've had people tell me right to my face, no, dude, I'm 6'3". I'm like, you're not 6'3", bro, because I'm not 6'3", and I'm taller than you. You're not 6'3". They're like, no. You're not no. I'm like, dude, you're not taller than me, and you're telling me you're 6'3". No, you're not 6'3".
Wait a minute.
Sorry to say.
I thought you were 6 feet too.
Yeah. So
people say you're 5'4".
5'5".
Yeah, it always changes.
So I'm 5'5", and this guy's telling me 6'2" or 6'3", and meanwhile he's shorter than me.
We never get a straight answer from Recognize. One day he's in one story he's 6'1", in another one he's 6'2". When he failed
6'3".
Yeah, well, yeah.
6'2".
Then when he failed to stand up to Miguel Cotto, he was 5'5" that day. So I mean, that was his excuse.
That day I was outnumbered, so I might as well be 5'5".
All right. Well, listen.
I got beat up.
Listen, the chat are saying that the chat's turning Russian.
Yeah.
Well, it's only one Russian dude though, and he keeps posting in Russian. I'm not gonna fucking translate that shit all the time through Google Translate. All right, it's too much of a hassle. So I'm not gonna go for that.
Whether Yarde is 6 feet or 5'10" or whatever height he is, dude's never been in there with competition like Kovalev. Not even close to it.
Man,
he hasn't even beat the guys that Kovalev has beat.
I was gonna say
I want to know if he's ever even sparred somebody at that level.
Yeah, I want to know if he sparred the kind of level of competition. Yeah, that's like a good question right there. Has he even done that?
Well, the hardest sparring I've seen from him is when he's sparring that fat guy who holds the mitts for him, and they turned that into a sparring session. So I suppose that's the hardest sparring he's had so far. But supposedly
he's like flaring all over the place. Oh, you hit so hard. Oh my god.
Oh, and that's the thing.
Hit so hard.
That's the thing.
That's how he talks.
There's this video where the guy with the pads, who's holding the mitts for him, is trying to touch him on the ropes, and Yarde is doing the Adrian Broner thing, where he does the shoulder roll on the ropes, and every time the other guy misses, he goes nope. And then I'm looking back at the footage. I'm looking at the trainer. He's flaring his arms and his elbows. In other words, he already has both arms open. So he's telegraphing, in essence, where the shots are coming from in order to make Yarde look good. And I'm thinking, come on, who's buying this stuff? I mean, supposedly Yarde doesn't even spar all that much. That's what they're saying. I don't know if that's more propaganda, like the propaganda that he's. That's what he says. He says he doesn't spar that much.
Well, maybe that's why he doesn't have the subtle nuances that I would like to see in the ring when he actually.
Yeah, he's just explosive.
Yeah,
I mean that's what you get when you hit the bag, but you don't spar, and you look like way different.
Yeah, Boxing Weekly News in the chat says Yarde doesn't spar, and the Boxing for IBF says recognize Cotto made him wear pink Crocs. What the hell's a Croc?
That's not true.
All right,
He's spreading rumors.
I tell you what though.
Wear pink Crocs.
What was it?
I don't even wear Crocs, right?
I don't even know what a Croc is. And by the way, can we?
What if?
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I said, what if saw something like they saw something on with Kovalev, so they then exploit it.
I'm sure they saw. I saw something.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's every time somebody sees Kovalev getting tagged against Ward or against Alvarez, that's what they think. They think, hey, all I gotta do is land a shot on this guy's chin and he's going down. And let's face it, Kovalev does have a weird chin. He's got that Jay Leno chin a little bit. You know, he kind of his head is shaped like a crescent moon.
He got a moon face.
Yeah, like a crescent moon, right? He's got a crescent moon face. Yeah. Maybe that's why he's a racist too, because he's related to the Moon Man. I don't know. Listen, the point is this. Kovalev is going to come in there and he's going to try to take Yarde out. He's going to try to make a statement. My question is, is Yarde better suited at just taking a risk and jumping on Kovalev? Or because, I mean, everybody knows Kovalev is very dangerous long range. So what do you guys think? Do you think Yarde should go for broke from the get-go and try to pressure Kovalev? Put him on the back foot a little bit?
Absolutely. So it's
I would say jab to the body and try to.
Yeah, I mean, anything. He got to get inside and explode. Hopefully get Kovalev to swing with him and win in the exchange.
Yeah.
You know what,
winning
guys?
Exchanges is probably the key for him. If he can't win in the exchanges, he's pretty much.
Yeah, I would agree, man, because listen, either way, I think he's getting stopped or takes a beating because the Bible does say, live by the sword, die by the sword. And I've seen what's his name, Yarde trading with subpar opposition, and there was one shot against that the electrical engineer. He led with a right uppercut and he got tagged with a short little right cross. And I said, man, if that's Kovalev hitting you with that shot, the same shot he hit Andrew Ward with, and that's the other thing, defensively. You know, Yarde, he looks good when his trainer's telegraphing the shots, but who's a better defender, Andrew Ward or Anthony Yarde?
Ward. You can never hit Ward like with 2 shots in a row.
Right?
That's the one thing I give Ward credit for. Like I'm not saying never, but it's like really rare to see him get hit with 2 shots in a row.
We have a phone call.
All right, maybe it's Vinnie Mac. Let's see what he wants to. No, it's not Vinnie Mac. I don't know who it is.
Scally.
510. You're on the air. 510.
What's up, everybody? This is Ross Clott. 222, the most undefeated. What's the topic tonight?
Oh, you already know what the topic is. Come on, it's Kovalev Yarde, man. Come on, Rascal.
Okay, here's the thing. We all know that Andre Ward is one of the greatest to ever do it. Headbutts and low blows, anything to win. That's how we do it in Cali. Low blows, headbutts, having your referees and fighting in your hometown. That's what we do in Cali. We don't fight outside California.
Oh boy! Now see, that's I sense a little sarcasm there, Rascal. But
no. He's being honest. That's how they took out Biggie.
That West Coast gangster shit.
That's how they took out Biggie. They say you get motherfucker.
Come to our hometown.
You know why Ward does it?
Right.
You know why he does it? Because he's got that socialist health insurance in California. It's all free. That's why he doesn't want to fight outside of California.
Right. Recognize you got to understand. You got to understand. In order to be the best, you got to be able to call all the shots and never fight outside your comfort zone.
I got you. That makes sense. That is true.
All right, but Rascal, we don't want to go into Ward too much right now. That's Kellerman's going to take care of that tonight for Andrew Ward in the hotel room. We want to talk a little bit about. Kovalev Yarde. What do you think? I mean, why are they putting Yarde in there against Kovalev, and how do you see the fight going?
Well, here's the thing when it comes to Anthony Yarde. I don't know anyone. I don't know any of the fighters that he's fought. I have to go to BoxRec in order to see who he fought. See, because I never seen these guys. Now I might have saw some of Yarde's fighters. Some of his opponents, like at Subway. I might have saw some at a gas station. I might have saw some of his opponents. Bagging groceries at Costco. So I don't know anything about him other than him being very muscular and having a bad braid job. He needs someone else to braid his hair.
I agree. Those braids are so fucking ghetto.
Jesus
Christ.
Can you put the disclaimer?
His braids about to fall off. That's how tight that shit is.
Yeah, first of all, there's nothing. And braids are part of his culture. So if he wants to do that with pride, then I suggest you fellas.
He's doing it wrong, though. He's
No.
doing it all wrong.
Well, what's he doing wrong, though? I don't get it.
Maybe it's
Nah,
because
that's not how you do braids. The way he's doing braids is not.
You know,
He's doing a terrible job.
when you look at a fight like this, it's almost like okay, listen, Kovalev is pretty much he's getting older now and he's slowing down, right? Much like Triple G versus Canelo. The difference is Triple G was fighting a tough fighter and arguably beat him both fights. Yarde is nowhere near or anything close to Canelo. Kovalev is going to destroy him, dismantle him, unravel all his braids in a matter of 6 or 7 rounds. He's going down. I got Kovalev winning by stoppage. I don't care what Vinny says. Whoever this Vinny guy is who wants to be Italian, he doesn't even sound like he's Italian. I got Kovalev by a brutal stoppage in ending the hype job, Anthony Yarde.
All right, I think we got Vinny back on the line. Vinny, is that you? 585?
Yes, this is me.
All right.
Who is this guy on the line right now? I had to call back because I need his full name because when I see Kovalev...
Why you need his full name?
It's a full name and an address.
Just Rusclot, that's it.
Yeah, this Tisdom is really
My name
acting
is
up.
Rosclot Mayweather Marciano Lopez.
Okay, Rosclot. I'm going to write down, sir.
Undefeated in all debates. And Yarde is going to go down. He could pump up
You
all
will
the
be surprised.
steroids he wants. Kovalev is way more skilled, way more powerful.
You tell him, Vinny. You tell him, Vinny.
Yeah, tell him,
Way
Vinny.
more powerful.
Can I just say one thing, sir?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Speak.
Kovalev is a quitter. End of discussion.
Oh.
Oh,
Who did he
shit.
quit again?
All right.
Tell me who Kovalev quit again. Tell me who Kovalev quit again. Hello?
What's that?
Vinny.
Oh, Vinny
Paisano.
can't.
Hey, Paisano, Vinny. Hey,
He dropped out. He hung up.
I think
hung
that
up.
that question hurt him, Rosclot.
When you go
Yo,
against
even if he's a quitter.
you're come on, Vinny, where are you?
I think you made Vinny quit. Because as soon as you hit him with that question,
I had
he
to make
quit.
him quit. There I go. I had to make
Heard
him
somebody
quit.
else say it before.
So you're 51-0 now. 51-0.
Yeah, Rosclot, you went up to 50.
Rosclot, you just added another win. You got 51-0 now. So now when you come on, you got to say 51-0.
Thank you.
You made Vinny quit.
Yeah, but what if Yarde wins?
Now I gotta go against. Now I gotta defeat 100% X. I'm waiting on him.
Oh, that's a whole other level of competition. That's like Yarde jumping up towards Kovalev. That's you against X. You're Yarde in that situation.
Oh. X versus Rosclot? I don't know about that one. That's going to be a tough one, Rosclot. You know X.
I don't see Yarde winning this fight at all. He's younger. He might be physically stronger. I don't know. But when you look at his opponents and the people that he fought, if you go on BoxRec and watch some of his fights, we don't even know if this guy has real power. It could be a hype job because of the opponents he's facing. You don't fight top guys, you won't learn anything.
Absolutely.
I agree. He hasn't fought anybody. I don't even think he's fought a top 20. I don't know. Has he?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the Rod Sockers of the 175.
Top 20 in Hungary.
Yeah, actually, this came in.
A few of them.
He fought a Hungarian fighter who was top 20 for Hungarian fighters. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah. See?
A bunch of top.
They only have 19 boxers in Hungary.
It's because they're all hungry.
He came at 20.
They're gambling on Yarde. If Yarde loses, that's it for Yarde. He's going to be gone. Finished.
Well, supposedly Tyson Fury said something along something between those lines of if he loses, he said a real fighter, a real all-time great can win anywhere in the world, just like I did. He says so. he's putting a lot of pressure on his fellow UK fighter there.
I mean, he's fighting in Russia, right? He's fighting in Russia.
Mother Russia.
Well, then, I mean, so what's going to happen? I mean, he's not a citizen like Roy Jones Jr. They're not going to care about this guy. They're probably going to mistake him for a fucking criminal when he comes out of the
Oh, come on.
So who knows? He's going to go to the venue, and they're going to be like, "What the fuck are you?"
Listen,
all I know is this. Kovalev still got the fight in him, no matter what happened with him. He beat Alvarez in a rematch, and I don't. Does anyone think Yarde could beat Alvarez?
No. I haven't seen anything in him to suggest that he would win.
Except for Vinny. Maybe Vinny thinks that. So Vinny, hey, are you in the chat? Call back.
Now, you know what? I don't think he's gonna want to call. I don't think he's gonna want to call back right away.
Call back.
Yeah, I think he's saving a little bit of energy for after.
He's coming back for the Vinny Mac is coming back for the rematch.
Yeah, and by the way, he said he wanted Rasklot's full name for a report that he's doing.
Yeah, I don't trust that. Nobody give Vinny your full name.
Rasklot, Mayweather, Marciano Lopez.
Marciano Lopez. Oh man. By the way, the undercard, there's some African dude fighting. The cruiserweight guy, I can never pronounce his name. Lukutu Mabute, or what's his name?
Ilunga Makabu.
Jesus, fucking bro.
Yeah,
that's his
Precise.
name. Ilunga Makabu.
Precise is the king of foreign names. He can roll them all off. I think he's a CIA agent. That's what some people are saying in the chat room. That's the only way somebody can be so familiar with these international names, man. I don't know. Or maybe he's just a fan of world music. Little Peter Gabriel in there. So talking about that Kovalev Yarde, so that's it. And there's Juan Francisco Estrada is fighting on Saturday too, against some guy I've never heard of. So that's it. So Raslo, prediction then. What's your official prediction for Kovalev versus Yarde?
My official prediction is 7th or 8th round stoppage. Kovalev will defeat Yarde.
Oh, all right.
He's way too polished and way too schooled. That Yarde, you can't learn anything by fighting guys who are not supposed to be in the ring with you day in and day out. That's just how it goes. You keep fighting guys that aren't that good, you won't learn anything. That's just how it works.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. And you have to give Yarde credit though, because for a guy that picked up boxing late and who hasn't really fought anybody of any note, he does have good instincts. I mean, he picked up boxing pretty quickly if you look at his style, and he works on some flashy moves. I know flash doesn't always translate to efficacy inside the ring, but nevertheless, they're not all that easy to pull off. So we do have to give Yarde some credit for picking boxing up the way he did.
Yeah, he's probably a very good athlete, bro. He's a very good athlete. That means, like he's one of those guys that could pick up on a sport because he's got a lot of strength.
Mm-hmm.
He just knows.
Is there anyone on the panel that thinks Yarde will win?
I think Bucho. No, nobody.
Bucho.
No way! What the fuck?
Oh, sorry.
Because of you? Is it because
Gonzalo,
of you?
Gonzalo was
Is it
dropping
because
hints,
of you?
but I'm not sure he's picking.
Yeah, you know something? Gonzalo was like, I don't know. When I look at Yarde, I see something. He was saying it was something within that. Then I think I heard him say Lobito. And that was it.
No, he's you know what he's doing? He's hedging his bets. He's looking at it and he's thinking, I'm gonna say that Yarde is not that good, but I'm gonna pick that maybe there's a chance for an upset. So he's saying, if Yarde wins, he can say, see, I told you it was gonna be a possible win for Yarde. And if Yarde loses, that's the oldest trick in the book, man. It's the oldest trick in the book.
He's writing the fence.
Exactly, he's writing that Rio Grande defense.
Were you popping the roofies, the Rohypnol, benzodiazepine 2 milligrams, or the...
All right, that's a little soundbite right there. Now listen. No, but Gonzalo has... You know what? Gonzalo, he has good picks. So if he sees something...
He does.
I wouldn't... You know what? Now I'm riding the fence. But
I wouldn't dismiss it. I wouldn't... Nah, but this is a trick one. This is a trick BDA. Mr. BDA, I think you missed his message. He's trying to trick you. That's what he's trying to do.
Well, listen. Next
He's
time
trying
Gonzalo,
to get you to hedge your bet.
next time he's on the show, I'm gonna ask him, and hopefully we can get him on before the actual fight, because the fight is gonna be taking place in Russia. So over here, PM Eastern time, it's gonna be around what, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Bucho? Am I correct in saying that?
Yeah.
In Russia?
Yeah, in Russia. So it's gonna be 6 p.m., 5 p.m. around that time. ESPN, you can catch it there. I'm not sure if it's ESPN Plus or if it's full on ESPN. Also, I was watching a those BT Sports videos that they're doing on Yarde, and his trainer said, "Oh, Yarde can go all day. He's a machine." And I'm looking at the way the guy's built, and I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why he can train non-stop. It's because he's a machine." Now it's probably because he's on something. Come on, man. I mean, you can't look like that. It's all genetics. Is that what it is? It's all genetics. He's got those superior genes.
It's not impossible, but it's just not likely to look like. It could be, but like, what are the? You know what I mean? Like some people are like that naturally, right, with a lot of hard work. But why would you do that? Cut and get it.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's possible, man. I work out like a beast, and all I drink is coffee.
You know what? Drinking all that coffee, I recognize. I was reading about that. It might not be. You might want to limit it to
I know. I heard.
One cup a day.
But it's
one
working.
Cup a day.
No, I do. That's what I drink. I drink 1 cup a day. It's a nice big size, and
size of a fucking leg.
Yeah, that's
the size of a fucking.
You gotta drink black
size
coffee.
of somebody's
Black
tab.
coffee is good. Black coffee is good.
I put a little bit of milk in it. I put a little bit of milk in it.
No.
I drink it, and then I'm ready to go.
But hold on a
Yo,
second.
what's the chat saying about Yarde's fucking bags getting confiscated at the airport? No, I'm not joking. They're saying this has fucking been confirmed.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's in Russia. Like he's
literally
deep, bro.
Joking.
No, what do you think happens to you when you come to fight in the U.S.? The same shit happens. They just never publicize it. Like they're gonna fuck with him. Like they're gonna play loud music all night at his hotel. He's not gonna get any shut eye. It's gonna be that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and as far as like whether he's natural or not, I dare you, and we're gonna keep it controlled. So I'll say find me a black man between 1920s. Find a picture that looked like that. You're not gonna be able to. It never happened before. Exogenous testosterone.
Because I can look at all like the '60s fighters. None of them were as shredded. Really weren't.
Like, but to be perfectly in line with when the PEDs hit or exogenous testosterone came into existence, roughly like 1920s, 1930s, late 20s, early 30s. So before then, look at all athletes. You're never gonna find anybody that looks like these athletes do today. What you're gonna find is guys that look like all the UFC fighters. Basically, that's what you will find.
If you go to baseball today, these guys look like fucking football players. The best player in all of baseball right now is a guy named Mike Trout. He runs and jumps like a football player. He can jump up 12 feet. 12 feet, that means he's dunking a basketball. Well, he's only 6'2". He weighs 235 pounds, and he's fast like a fucking bullet. He's like a bullet. This is a baseball player. Is he all natural? I doubt that. I really doubt that.
Yeah, man. These guys, man, they're all. By the way, Precise, didn't you say? I think it was last year. I forget which episode it was. Hitler was shredded. I believe that was your exact quote.
Hitler was shredded.
Yeah,
he was. Probably was.
Because ever since
he was sick, he had Parkinson's. He had all kinds of diseases. So he was taking exogenous testosterone just to like deal with diseases and side effect. Like the dude was cut up.
See, that's the type of leader the world needs. A leader that is strong-minded, that's a good speaker, passionate, and who's shredded. Look at all these politicians now. They're all fat.
Well, wasn't the SNS? Wasn't like the SNS? I think I'm saying it right. His soldiers were like at least 6 feet tall. You had to be at least 6 feet tall to join the fucking and like in great shape.
Yeah.
Yes, excuse me. Right. That's it.
Like how they used to have the state trooper rules almost.
Right. Something like that. Okay. Like that's So it goes to show you that even since the beginning of time, they wanted certain type of people to be soldiers, be athletes, and I'm not surprised that it's advanced now.
Think of the the best athlete of a 5-year span that you went to high school with or whatever. Think of the best fucking athletes, and then just think of what they looked like at 18, and then if they didn't go into athletics, just look at them at 23, 24 even.
They look like shit.
Yeah, so it's really hard, really fucking hard to keep that 18-year-old body when you're in your fucking late 20s without a little help, no matter how hard you work out. It really is to get that incredibly bulky and shredded. I mean, that's like fucking magazine picture physique.
See, that's the thing. You just said a good point there. He says it's very hard to maintain that 18-year-old physique. That's why I always dump these 18-year-olds when they turn 23, and I go back to the 18-year-olds. It's pretty easy.
I think
Simple
he's
as
gonna
that.
go there, man.
Oh, come on.
Floyd Mayweather was on PEDs when he fought McGregor. If you compare his abs to his abs when he was at 130 pounds, they were identical. And there is no way your abs are going to look exactly the same 15 to 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know what, Ross Clyde? I'm not gonna have that. I'm not gonna have you talk about Floyd Mayweather like that.
People in the chat are saying, trust Precise to be an expert on Hitler.
Oh, come on. Wait a minute. What? Wait, who said that? Who said that? Who?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'd like him to tell me how he's any different than any American president. Like, explain to me why he's different. Any different than any of your presidents. I'd like to hear that argument.
Oh, well, Trump. Come on, man. Trump is like, he's God, right? He's like Trump. He's like he doesn't mess around with the Zionist rulers of America. He's just he's
don't say that word.
He's all natural. It's organic.
Wait.
True.
Before Obama put an embargo on Iraq, they calculated 500,000 women and children starve or die of disease, whatever. And they said, "Oh yeah, go right ahead, let's do it." So how is he different? In what way?
Well, the difference is he doesn't have that cool-looking mustache and the cool SS uniforms that the Nazis had. Those were some fucking sick ass. That's the worst thing. People complain about the war and the casualties. No, the biggest casualty after World War II is that you can't dress like a Nazi anymore. They had some good style, man. Everybody knows it. Everybody talks about it. And
Hugo Boss.
Yeah, the great lament, if you ask me.
They had the best cars, the best planes. They're all the cool.
Actually, the crazy thing is, most of their companies are like the biggest in the world right now. Siemens to the car companies. I mean, it's crazy how you can go do your history on this. A lot of those dudes just went straight into the business. That were like SS guys, and they just became some of the highest heads of these businesses. They
went to NASA. A lot of them.
Yeah, well, obviously that too.
Yeah.
But a lot of them even went into just pure business with the German companies, and they're given a pass. Just go for it. So it's people want to. Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, where did Hitler get the oil to run all of his planes and all this other stuff? Where did he get all his oil from?
Where do you think he got all the money?
Hold on a second. Are you gonna throw the Bushes under the bus on this one? Is that where you're going with this?
No, well, they weren't around back then, but
sure were.
Grandfather might have been.
I'm not gonna have it. Listen, Israel is our greatest ally. George Bush as well. He was a great president. Both Bushes, Herbert Bush and W. Bush. So I'm not gonna have this. I'm really not. It's ridiculous that you fellas are going down that route, and I'm getting pretty angry here. All right, and I'm gonna be taking names because I'm prepared to file.
You gonna need names like Vinnie Mac?
That's right. I'm prepared to file a full police report on this one. All right. And by the way,
to the YouTube cops.
YouTube police. Yeah.
Just one last thing to some of those dumbasses in the chat. I know they were probably just trolling, but if your dear Western presidents or prime ministers or whatever really wanted to stop Hitler, they would have cut off his oil supply, okay, and the war would have been over. They didn't, so simmer on that one.
There you go. Let's see if I don't think anybody has any retort.
Eventually cut off his funding, and that's when shit went sideways.
That's right.
Hey, You gotta thank Hitler for one thing. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have Israel today.
That's right. Hey, good point. Very good point.
All right, that's what I'm saying.
There's a silver lining to everything. Silver lining. Now, sometimes that silver lining, some people say it's bigger, some people say it's smaller. You know, some people you can go to jail if you say that it's smaller, the silver lining. I don't know why. If you question the facts, the narrative. But hey, listen, the Israel is around. That's all we care about. Our greatest ally.
Yay!
As a Christian myself, I consider Israel a greatest ally. Here's the other thing. If it weren't for the Nazis and their development of UFOs, which some people say might be some of the things we saw flying around in 1940s, we wouldn't have the creation of the intelligence agencies, CIA, NSA, and all maybe others we'd never heard of. So you gotta thank the Nazis for creating the intelligence agencies, which keep us safe day in and day out from all those dirty Arabs that want to kill us because of our freedom, essentially. So,
think of how many of those like Nazi guys came into our intelligence agencies. They literally started up their own wings of the CIA and kept their whole spy rings intact to help us versus the Russians.
Yeah, but they saw the error of their ways, so that's why we made them see the light. We made them see the light.
They're biggest enemy in history now. Right?
All right. By the way, Thunderdome, you're.
No, they saw that the Deutschmark tanked and the U.S. dollar became the global currency. That's
recognize it's crinkling.
No, it's not recognized. I think it's. Oh yeah, it is recognized. You're crinkling.
Redhead devil.
I ain't crinkling.
Yeah, it's recognized. It's you, man. What's? Are you using that bodega Wi-Fi again?
Am I right?
Yes. Am I right? All right. Listen, we got. What's that?
I say you straight.
Hey, listen, Revolucion. You jumped on right as we. Revolucion, you jumped on right about as soon as we were gonna end it. So let's just get. I think Rascalot.
Just
Are you?
how I do.
Rascalot, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right. So we're gonna end the show, but just so your final prediction is Kovalev by 7th round KO. You said.
7th or 8th?
Yes, Kovalev by 7th or 8th round KO. Hitler is definitely gay. The only person that's naturally ripped 24/7 is Rosclot Marciano Lopez Mayweather. And I just want to say, tell those gay boys in the chat, stop going to the porn sites trying to click on those penis enlargement ads.
Oh.
You need to quit now. Peace out, Dad. Shout out to Bucho, BDA recognized. Salute.
All right. I think he was talking to me, by the way. I think he was talking to me about, ceasing clicking on those penis enlargement ads.
Oh my God.
By the way, I don't need to do any of that. I'm doing very well down there. Believe me, there's no problem there. That's a little Trump line right there. Hey, shut up. Listen, the point is...
Sorry about that, yeah.
We got Revolucion, like I said. Revolucion, give us your prediction on Kovalev Yarde.
Give you a little quick pick.
Yes.
Honestly, I've been looking ahead to next week's fight with Lomachenko. That's what I'm more excited for, but the fucking...
Are you serious? You're more excited for
Lomachenko?
Lomachenko?
Give us your pick. Just give us your pick.
Unanimous decision to Kovalev.
All right, so he doesn't believe
Same
that...
style. I think he's going to keep with that style that Buddy McGirt instilled in him in that last fight. Just kind of slow it down a little bit. You don't have to be the crusher.
All right, so...
And I think he'll just have success with boxing skills.
There you go.
Simple. Not a big... No, I don't have much invested in that pick, but...
Okay, but remember, guys, if Kovalev loses, if Yarde beats him up, we all have to come back here and face Vinimac.
Oh no, I'll eat crow. I'll eat crow right off the bat. Kovalev loses again.
Vinnie Mac's gonna want to know your name, full name.
Yeah.
Man, Vinnie Mac gonna blow up in a car.
Oh, now wait a minute. You can make.
I'll be the one to blow him up.
Irish car bomb.
Saint Brit says Rasclot is obnoxious, obsessed with thinking he's better than everyone. Rasclot the Wigga says Fight Scott. Okay, so you can see Rasclot making enemies with people in the chat room. You don't want to make enemies.
But wait a
with
second, he did beat Vinnie Mac, so you got to give him that. He beat him.
That's right. Yeah, he did beat.
I love the way that Rasclot pontificates to people. And Rasclot, my pick for the fight He's very intense.
Well, that's why he's Rascalot. Gypsy Boxing Style says gay boys think about them pills and stuff all the time. Uncle Burnt Apostrophe says prepare for a major Vinnie Mac attack if Yard wins. Fight School UK says Andrew Ward's White Sow. What? White Sound? Oh, White Soul Salute. Yeah, don't forget Andrew Ward, one of the greatest Irish fighters of all time. He is half Irish, so you gotta give him
So is
credit.
Charlie Burley.
There you go. And
Yeah,
Jose
with those
Napoles.
last names, come on. With those last names, it's obvious what's going on.
Yeah, Andrew McWard. That's all that was missing for him to be full Irish.
You know what that tells me with all these names?
What's that?
A lot of black chicks went into Irishmen. Oh.
Well, you know, a lot of black women have that fantasy where when they fuck white guys and they want to be treated like they go, call me your slave, call me your little end slave, and
What
I go, whoa,
the fuck, man? I thought it was just because they. Jeez, I thought it was because they thought we could give their babies good hair.
Well, and good credit.
Money.
My son got that good hair. He got that good hair.
Now you'd be surprised at what people are into. Like I said, I saw that documentary about there was this S&M club in New York back in the day, and there was one guy who wanted to be treated like a slave. There was another guy that wanted to be treated. He would dress the dominatrix would dress up like an SS officer, and just have this fucking this. I'm serious, Jewish lawyer. He wanted to be treated.
That's kind of hot, though.
Oh, come on, it's disturbing. Well,
Bro,
I mean,
my Aryan princess. Come on.
I gotta say
Yes,
that for
sir.
I gotta say that for our audience, because this is a family show, so I have to pretend that I don't have a heart on right now. But listen, the point is this: we covered all the bases here. We talked about Anthony Yarde. We went full in depth into the fight. We all picked. Hold on, McGregor. If I remember correctly, you picked Kovalev by 8-round TKO as well, or?
I didn't make a prediction.
All right, so I'm
I
pretty
just
sure
said
you
that
did.
Yard ain't gonna fucking beat Kovalev. It's not gonna happen. But I think Vinny convincing, and I feel as though I don't want to have to explain myself to him as to why I'd rather explain myself to all of you instead of him. So
I agree with that.
But
in other words,
even then, I'm not retarded. But I'm gonna go with Kovalev between. I don't think Yard's making it past the 7th round, and in all honesty, I think he's getting stopped in 3.
Well, I'll tell you this much right now, man. I don't want to face the Mac. I'm a little afraid now of the Mac, so I'm thinking maybe I should change my prediction just so that I don't have to face him.
They're playing with your mind. Come on, stop.
Nah. He came at us a little bit. Came hard, and I don't know, man. He's got me thinking. He's got me double guessing myself now.
I'll give you my prediction. My official prediction: Yard gets stopped in the 2nd round.
The 2nd round. But you know what? Wouldn't surprise me, man.
Vinny Mac's gonna be upset about that one.
Yes, he's filing a police report as we're speaking right now.
Now I'm getting nervous. What if Kovalev loses? Like,
so what?
Come on.
Oh God.
What's wrong with you guys?
Jesus. The stakes are high now because of fucking Vinny Mac.
Because of Justin Trudeau. You guys lost your balls over there. That's what's happening.
Could be.
Well, there's a meat tax now, I think, here in Canada because of Justin Trudeau. So the guy's pissing everybody. He's pissing all Canadians off more and more. And he was guilty, also found guilty of improprieties this past week. And he said, "No, I'm not going to apologize." So he's really driving Canadians nuts right now. Except for me, because I'm a Justin Trudeau fan till the end. Till the end. Just like those people that stood by Hitler. Just like those people stood by Hitler at the end in that bunker. That's me. When Justin Trudeau is in that S&M club at the end, hiding from the rebels, I'm going to be next to him, feeding him those cyanide pills. And then when it's my turn to take him, whoops. You know what? I think I changed my mind. No cyanide pills for me. So listen. We covered everything. My support for Justin Trudeau. Couple of tidbits you might not have known about black girls. Rascal called in, got into it with Vinny a little bit. We finally got ThunderDome on the show. Thank you, ThunderDome, for being on. Hopefully you come back for the next episode. What was that?
No, just appreciate being on the show.
Absolutely. By the way, Thunderdome, you sound a little bit like McGregor, but without the Irish accent. Let's do a little comparison here. McGregor, you talk, and then Thunderdome talks, and we'll see if I'm imagining things here, right?
Trying to take out that Irish fucking twang.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You sound a little bit alike, yeah.
Bro, he's got 2 octaves higher pitch than me.
Nah, you sound like you got your zipper stuck in your balls too a little bit.
Right, first of all, you sound like you were castrated in 1984 by the Russians.
That's not true. Listen to the boominess I
That's
have in
half a
my
truth.
voice. Listen to the boom in my voice. Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Oh, boom.
That boom, baby.
Hey,
that
BDA.
baby boom.
Mr. BDA.
Yes, go.
Can I say something?
Everybody, can I say something for a second? Yeah. Everybody was saying, everybody thinks that you're old man Pappy. I told them that there was a show where you and Pappy were on at the same time, and you guys were arguing. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I rebuked.
People are saying it's Pete.
And it wasn't pre-recorded. It wasn't pre-recorded at all, by the way.
They're doing it with the help of Gaia and Mammon. Gaia 5000 and Mammon 3000, those characters. And yeah, BDA, I'm on your case, bub.
All right, well, you can.
I'm a disbeliever. I'm
Listen,
a doubting Thomas.
You keep on being a doubting Thomas, but like Jesus, when he finally showed up and showed the people that he was indeed the Lord and Savior, and who had taken upon the sins of humanity in order to rebuke these people, I also rebuke these false allegations. First of all, I also rebuke Bucho.
But he got his ass kicked in the process.
No, actually, no. He said, nobody takes my life. I give it of my own accord, of my own free will. And that's what I told Bucho. I said, listen, Bucho.
Amen.
I rebuked him. I rebuked Bucho a little bit. Shut up. I rebuked Bucho a little bit because I told him, listen, months ago, I had told him, don't, if this guy calls, don't answer the phone. Now, I give Bucho a little bit of a pass because it was months ago. So he forgot, but from now on, there is no excuse, Bucho. If you see that Alabama phone number or that area code, we don't answer, right? Because he goes too far. He goes too far. I
happen to like him. I think he's very insightful.
Come on.
I'm just saying. He challenges people. That's what he does.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to be. Anyway, listen. He goes too far with the racist stuff, and I
told
think
McGregor he'll beat him up. He told McGregor he'll beat McGregor up.
I like him, bro. He sent me a message afterwards telling me how to become a Freemason, how I can join the clan with him and everything. It's a great time.
You know what? He's joining those low tier Masons from the local Mason lodge, and they don't do squat. All they do is they get drunk, they watch gay porn, jerk each other off. That's what they do. These guys, it's a wannabe.
Bro, that's Ireland in a nutshell. I'm in.
That sounds all right. Fantastic. If you're into that,
Gypsy's saying that you're in a wheelchair, BDA, and then he's calling you Stephen Hawking's on a wheelchair.
That's kind of kinky, you know.
Listen, Gypsy was the one that was tied up to a wheelchair after those Turks got a hold of him after the Pacquiao and Broner fight. So if he wants to talk about wheelchairs, it was. You remember that scene?
That was Gypsy.
That was Gypsy.
They had that ball in his mouth. You know you ever see that kinky fetish ball that they put in people's mouths? They had that in Gypsy's mouth.
Yeah, like in the.
I don't know how true it is. I wasn't there, so.
Are you saying that was like the scene in Pulp Fiction there?
Yeah.
It's called a gimp ball, and it comes in 3 different styles.
Poor Gypsy couldn't breathe. Oh.
What? You know what he was trying to say, right? Through the gag, he was trying to say, "Let me finish. Let me finish." Now, what is he saying? He's saying that we're interrogating
and shit.
Bucho, he's saying that we're interrogating me because I was too sexy. That's what he's saying. All right.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's a good note. I think that's a good note to end it on.
What's Santa Rita jail?
Well, it is true. Turkish men find Gypsy.
All right. Listen. This thing
All
is
right,
gonna.
man. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you for having me on. Peace to Gypsy. Vinny Mac, go fuck yourself, and
No,
everybody
come
have a good
on.
day.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
You know, I reckon this
It's
is
a
being too
family
long.
show, man. How many times do we have to say it? It is a family show.
I apologize. See you
All
later.
right.
Vinny.
Hey,
Alright.
is Precise still on here?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yo, Precise, real quick. Do you want to be on Trivia TKO? Eighth man, last spot.
Oh.
Come on.
I don't think we formally asked you yet.
He won't take it.
I guess
He got kidnapped.
I guess
He got kidnapped.
I guess it's a cliffhanger.
Pleading the fifth. Yeah, no.
All right, tune in next time for Precise's response.
You know what, Revolucion, I thought you were gonna ask him what type of music he liked.
Yo, what's
Or his dog.
No,
And then-
wait. What's up? What's up?
and then Pete was gonna come in. Hey, you know, you're acting like a woman. Why don't you go fuck off? And we would have had a little bit more drama if that would have happened. Unfortunately, Pete's not here to do that. By the way, yeah, Precise, are you there? Calling Precise. We can't hear you, man.
You also want to answer.
They just kidnapped him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
There
can
you
hear you
go.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Back.
Oh
Can
shit!
you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I've been talking all this time. I guess you guys didn't hear me.
No,
No.
yeah, we couldn't hear you. No.
Yeah, I've been screaming, "Fuck your trivia!" show."
Oh, okay.
Yes. Sticking up.
Well,
I mean,
guess
tell
we
me
have an
when,
answer
like,
now. We have an answer.
Like, the only thing is, I don't know if I'll be able to make it.
Oh.
That's the only thing, because I don't always make the show. Sometimes it's at a bad hour for me, but I guess we could, if we do it ahead of time, I might be.
Will you tell us when? And
Hey,
we'll figure it out.
Send a contract down.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a great tournament.
Hey, by the way, is Thunderdome in the show?
Yep. Well, he said yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. We never asked him.
Thunderdome, did you agree to the tournament?
Have you signed the
Yeah,
contract yet?
Yeah. The contract's been signed.
Oh,
All
okay.
right, there you go. All right.
Yeah, I'm
Precise-
just, as the champion, I'm just sitting back and watching all these peasants fight each other.
Yeah. You'll get the winner.
Hey,
Bro, you beat Johnny Boy to get your title.
Oh, come on.
Why are you throwing shots?
No, he
Bro,
did.
that was like that's the same thing. No, bro, hold on. That's the same thing as Wilder beating Bermains to Burn.
Nah. Get out of here.
Oh,
Whoa, Johnny Boy knows he's fucking boxing, man.
Hey,
Johnny Boy was a fill-in for me.
All right.
Johnny Boy's going to be in this tournament, and guess what he has that you guys don't have? Experience.
Oh,
that's right.
Losing, he doesn't know how to win.
But he's a crafty ring veteran.
Yeah.
And when you're on the
More
big,
than you.
when you're on the big stage, McGregor, and the clock is a ticking, and the sweat is a dripping down your
Bro,
brow.
this isn't the first channel to ever do trivia, and I've won 4 on other channels. It's fine. I'm grand.
You know, Mark is getting
Oh,
a
you're
little
little
cocky.
W-
He's getting a little cocky.
WFI
Right
A little
now,
bit.
okay?
A little bit. A little bit.
You're a little
I'm
cocky.
just talking absolute bullshit to build it up.
Yeah, I know, because I never. I mean, what are you talking about?
No,
We're the first
You got a little.
ever.
You got a little bit out of line
Oh,
yourself.
yeah. The first
You got a
channel
little
ever,
bit
yeah.
No. You got a little bit
Listen,
out
no
of line
matter how you
yourself.
say it, I'm going down in the history books. I'm the first champion. Now get over it.
John Gonzalez in the chat room says, BDA, I volunteer as a cherry pick for the tournament. Yeah, this is. He's a hoe. He's a hoe. He's presenting himself to be as a hoe.
Wait. He's gonna fight me. He's gonna
The
be
voluntary.
and he's not a cherry pick because he's a great competitor. He's beating everybody.
Clap when you do that.
He did good at other sports.
Wait a second. Don't diminish that, okay? That's not right. He did good in others. He wants to challenge me, and I think this is a very tough fight for me. So make it happen.
Hey, you know what? LR Chiga is calling McGregor Smugregor. So people don't like that smugness. By the way, this is what
that's what Stu was saying. Stu was saying the same thing about him.
Oh,
That's the fucking point, man. I'm going heel.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Stu's
By the
my
way,
promoter.
This is what
Very well played.
this is what John this is what John Gonzalez said about how he says people underrating him.
I can handle things. I'm smart. I'm smart, and I want respect.
All right, so there you have it. He wants his respect. John Fredo Gonzalez. All right, listen. That sounded like Vinnie Mac too.
I'm smart.
Who said that? That
All right,
sounded
so
like
I'm
Vinnie Mac.
penciling you in. Precise, you're penciled in. It's written down.
Oh, come on, he didn't say yes yet. Come on.
I'm gonna send you the contract, though.
Revolucion is putting in that pressure on people. All right, listen.
Remember, don't forget, guys, I get A-side money no matter who I face.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not. I won't defend my title.
Bucho, is the final... Bucho Revolucion, is the final going to be in Saudi Arabia?
Well, Revolucion, you want to take that question?
We have a location at the Emirates, actually.
Oh, there
Qatar, so it's a little bit off.
Oh, my fight in Dubai.
Not quite as ritzy as Saudi Arabia.
Oh, thank God! I thought.
Where is it? Qatar? The finals in Qatar.
Qatar.
Okay. I would like to formally withdraw from the tournament.
Oh, come on!
You're afraid of me. You're afraid. That's why.
Yeah, I have a fear of towels.
Oh, come on! Listen, we're not gonna be making the. I wanted to make the final in Somalia to make it more inclusive and more diverse, but people
I have
are saying
a fear of pirates.
People are telling me we might.
Actually, I want the fight. I want the fight in Puerto Rico, and I
was just gonna say the Caribbean. Let's do it in the Caribbean, man. Let's get bashed at the beach.
Specific.
I'm afraid of sand.
But let's be specific. Like not just any Caribbean. We're talking about Puerto Rico. All right, that's where the fight's gonna be. And I'm gonna pick 3 judges. They're from my hometown. Okay, don't worry. They'll be.
All right, I want to see people drinking pina coladas out of the pint. I want to see people drinking out of coconuts. I want everybody having a good time for the final, for the championship. But the tournament, you got to think it's like the WBSS.
Why do you want everyone drinking a gay beverage?
We all gonna be chilling, having a great time, man. That shit's delicious.
All right,
delicious alcohol is gay alcohol.
We'll get a scotch for you, hey, whatever you want, man.
On that note, we do have to go. So thanks to everybody that came onto the panel. I want to thank Revolucion, McGregor Boxing Talk, Unrivaled Boxing Talk, I should say. I also want to thank Cameron, who dropped in here before he had to go, I don't know, feed his wife pellets or something. Because, she's pregnant. You got to keep feeding her. I don't know if Cameron really wants that baby,
He's got a baby covered.
I don't know if he really wants that baby. Hopefully he doesn't go... Anyway, I was going to make an abortion joke, but that's too far. I want to thank...
Man, that's too far, yeah.
No, I didn't say the joke. Recognize. I want to thank Recognize. I want to thank ThunderDome Boxing for dropping by as well. I want to thank Precise too. Everybody who gave their
peace, everybody.
Absolutely, everybody that gave their predictions. All the callers too. Fantastic. Thank you for calling. It was a sensational show in terms of the predictions that we got. A lot of ground covered, and that's about it. Thank you, everybody. Also, want to give a shout out to everybody who's in the chat room. Despite our technical problems, Juicy GOAT, Nes Mendoza, Walter Morrison, Magic Man, some Russian dude, Boxing for IBF, Mr. E, another boxing dude, Virtuoso, BK, Guitar Hero, Omnisearch Media, the Quags was in there as well, Pete was in there, Fight School UK, Official Scorecard Boxing, Seamus Carey, John Gonzalez. I'm running out of breath here just reading these names. Can you believe that? Triple JJJ.
Join Discord. The link is in the chat. Discord link in the chat.
That's right. Discord link in the chat. Come on to the Discord, BDA Discord group. It's like the chat room, but without the show. And it's 24/7. Anything goes. That's right. Even abortion jokes, if you're so inclined. So drop on in. It's a good little Discord page. Check out the BDA Twitter page as well. And guys, we will see you on the next one. Take it easy, fellas.
See ya.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm I'm disappointed in everyone. Totally disappointed in everyone.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in everyone.
Then let me tell you why.
It's gonna be alright, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
Let's just kill the fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lomito! You got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA Boxing.